All
Okay.
right, man. Welcome to the Lakers room. It's the first episode, first conversation. The people of the purple and gold. It's the Lakers encompass a lot from the players, the organization, the media, the bloggers, the fans, the fan pages, everything. So I always like to talk to the people of the purple and gold. Huge fanatic myself. Who we got on today is an extremely special guest. You see his name, Ryan Ward. He's been a huge journalist for the Lakers over the last 15 years, since 2011, which
Yeah.
that's amazing to start there. He's written for a bunch of publications like Lakers Daily, Lakers Nation. Recently appointed as the Lakers writer for Sports Illustrated. It's the illustrious Sports Illustrated. That's big, man, for one. Let's say that. But yeah, so we'll start with you, man. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, give us some background about yourself real quick.
You pretty much said it. I mean, I've been doing this credentialed since 2011. I've seen a lot going through from Kobe to LeBron to now Luka. So it's been a wild ride. Um,
Okay.
Kind of exhausted just saying that, just thinking about all the times. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been wild. I don't know what else to say. It's just like you, like how you were talking before we got on. No schooling for this. It was just kind of passion driven, and I'm still here. Still here. I think a lot of people fall off quick because they don't realize how much of a grind this is, but or what passion really means, right?
Yes.
So I'm kind of blessed to still be around, still covering this crazy franchise.
No, absolutely, man. I wish I had a sound effect, but they don't know what the grind really is for sure. So, salute to you
No.
for that, man. And we're gonna get into the Lakers for sure. Where I kind of want to start, and you already answered the question. I was gonna ask if you went to school for it. You said no schooling for it. Did you have a creative writing like background, or like was that
Nope.
a hobby of yours as a kid, high school, anything?
No, I was gonna actually go into art. I was it was My mom was an artist, and I kind of got that from her. And you know, I could do. It's one of those things where it's like it's a talent that you can do, but you don't really like it. Like it was, I used to hate people tell me what to draw and tell me what to, like in classes and stuff. I mean, I could do it. I just didn't enjoy it. And then I remember like I had a class at CO. They call it COC, but it's College of the Canyons in Santa Clarita, right? And I went with a buddy of mine and his girlfriend. And we were taking the class together, and I was, I did like a self portrait. It was like this big, and it was really, I shocked myself that how good it was. Right? I mean, I feel like I'm bragging, but um, and my teacher was like, "Hey, look, I want you to go to school in Santa Monica, and like I'll give you a reference and oh yada yada." I had the path to go that way, right? My mom's pushing me that way. Everybody's pushing me that way, but it just wasn't. There was just nothing there, right? There was no passion for it. Um, so I didn't do that, and I went into construction with my dad, who owns he's a subcontractor for Anheuser Busch, and I worked there. And that really like opened my eyes because I hated every minute of it. It was like pure physical labor with a bunch of guys who were in their 40s, 50s, some 60s, I think. And they just hated life. They hated it. They were just like, "Why are you here?" I was like 20, 23? No, I was younger than that. But they're like, "Go back to school. Go back to school, figure something else out." And I'm like, "What? You know what, screw you. Like I'm here too." Like I just wanted a job. I didn't know what the hell because everybody assumes that you're just gonna figure something out, like, right? Like you're gonna have a passion, you're gonna have something that you want to do in life. I didn't. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was play ball, uh, get women, and and party. That's all I wanted to do.
We would have been
And
cool.
I was pretty good at all three of those at that time. And when you do that too long, life kind of, you know, slaps you in the face a bit. I got in this car accident, like really bad. I should have died. Put it that way. I my parents lived in the like in a canyon, right? Where it's so it was like a half hour off the beaten path of the city of Santa Clarita, right? And you had to take this windy road with no lights, no street lights, no nothing. And I fell asleep at the wheel, and it veered off to the right. I hit some gravel. It woke me up. I freaked out. I turned the wheel like this. Car spins over, hits the cliff, and I just went straight down the cliff. I think
Damn.
the CHP or whatever said that I flipped like 6 times or something, and I I woke up and my head was like squished between the roof and the door here, right? And I squeezed my head out like this, and I jumped and I pulled my hands off of the steering wheel where the windshield was like this on my hands. It's ripped all my hands apart, and I jumped out the window, which was smashed. And then I ran up to the top of the hill, and thankfully it was a full moon, so I could see, but not much, right? And I just I ran home, which was 3 miles away. Got home, got into my parents' room, and I just it's like my body was like, okay, you're here. Now it's
Adrenaline.
time to heal, right? And I fell on the floor, blood everywhere. And it was just like it was, it was a moment where like you have to change your life. You have to change what you're doing. Like this is just not. And it
Yeah.
happens so strangely like involuntary, right? It's
Were
like
you
you're
drunk?
huh?
Were you drunk?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had some drinks.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And-
smashed, but what happened was I worked all day from
mhm.
6:30 to like party till like 3 in the morning and then drove. Thought I could do it, right? And I just fell asleep. I literally just fell asleep. Like to where have you ever had that feeling where you fall asleep and you just can't control it and you don't even
Yeah,
realize
I
that
fell
you've
asleep
fallen?
driving. Oh yeah, I got.
Oh,
This
scary.
is around the ward
Scary as
hour. I
hell,
got
man.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I it was just one of those moments, It was a change your life moment. And then from then
Yeah,
on, I had a different kind of perspective on things. And
yeah.
I was running a fantasy football league with all my buddies at the time, right? Like still in it, still in it. And I was writing the every week I would do like an assessment of what happened. Like, so and so lost to this, but I would do it in a funny way. And one of my buddies, Tom, he's like, dude, that was a really good read. And I'm like, seriously? He's like, yeah. And I was like, it was like another light bulb moment. It was like, maybe you should look into this because I was writing about something I cared about. I
Hmm.
mean, it was fantasy football, and I was basically just make cracking jokes about every guy in the league, right? But and then I was just like, you know what? And this is when like blogs and everything just started to take off. It was like it was a different era, right? All of a sudden, people were expressing their opinions everywhere and free blogs and stuff. So I created a free blog, and I just started writing about the Lakers. And all of a sudden, I'm getting these companies hitting me up saying, "Hey, look, can I put an advertisement on your site?" I'm like, "Okay." A lot of them were like, sports books before they become what they are today, right? Like
Hmm.
way before. And they'd pay me like, "Okay, we'll pay you for $100 for a year," or and then it just kept coming, and I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm not, "Oh no," but like, "Wow, I could
Yeah.
really do something here." So what I did was I every day blogging about the Lakers, and then I created one about the Dodgers, and I created one about the Raiders, all the teams that I love, right? And I just kind of duplicated the process, and then out of nowhere, I get a job offer from Lakers Nation, right? They're like, "Hey, you're taking our traffic away. We want you to join us." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'd been following them forever at that time, and
Yeah.
so I joined them. But I also got a job with Examiner.com, um, and that they're owned by AEG, who owns the Staples Center at the time, right? Uh, and they offered me credentials, and I'm like, "Are you serious? You realize I don't have schooling or anything like that?" Just like you're gonna let me
Yeah.
go in the locker room, right? Ask questions to Kobe, and it just it was a crazy moment of terms of like you never thought you could be in that position, and now
Yeah.
it's a reality, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And
it ain't
then
never been what you know.
yeah, and then it just was surreal after that. It was just one thing after the other, like, and then I kept thinking to myself, well, there is no ceiling to what you can really accomplish. It's just you just just keep going
Yeah. No,
until
I,
I,
you answered
one of the
most of my
guys
back.
I used.
Oh,
What's
my bad.
that?
Sorry. I was gonna say I didn't mean to
No, it's
cut you
just
off. You answered most of my background questions.
I was gonna say a guy I used to work with at Lakers Nation. He was a photographer, right? He was Andrew Martinez, who actually works for the Lakers now, as in part of their one of their departments. And he used to do all this stuff while we were covering games. Like he would always try to find the boundary of where
Mhm.
as far as he could go. Like he would be on the floor while the players are running in, and you get footage like this as the players are running in. I'm like, dude, are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to, take all these shots like this? Are you allowed to be on the floor? He's like, bro, just do it until they tell you you can't,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
as
What they say,
far as
ask
you
for
can go.
permit or ask forgiveness, not permission.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And that was another light bulb moment. I was like, okay, I'm just going to use that for the rest of my life, right? Like I'm going to take it as far as I can go until somebody tells me no. So
Yeah.
that's it. Just evolved like that, dude. I did. It
Mm.
was just a constant learning experience, and then when you write enough, you learn how to do it. And now these days it makes it way easier because you got Grammarly, you got
Mm.
ChatGPT that you can ask questions to, when I started, there was none of that stuff. So it was
Yeah.
really learning on the fly and reading a lot, right? Like reading Bill Plaschke in the LA Times or, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN, and just seeing their styles and seeing how I could, kind of emulate it or like come up with my own style. And
Yeah.
uh, it was a lot of trial and error, right? And the whole time I'm thinking I'm screwing up. The whole time I'm like, I'm not doing this right. There's no way I'm doing this right.
But
um
you're doing.
there's things I'm missing, there's steps I'm missing, there's because there was nobody like critiquing what I was doing. It was just throw it
Yeah.
out there and see what happens. and
Yeah.
and
That's
then
where I'm at right now.
yeah, just keep going. I mean, the best thing you can do in this business is reps. It's just reps. I mean, it's the same with basketball, right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
not going to become a good shooter unless you keep shooting shots, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, mentality. And then Kobe, Kobe helped me out big time in terms of being that kind of guiding. Uh, you know, I just see what he did and the way he was thinking about things, and the way what he would say after games, and the way he'd handle certain situations. And you take tips here and there, and you just go with that. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
was a maniac in so many ways in terms of the way he was able to be so disciplined about everything. And
Yeah.
I got to see
You
two
should read
sides of it.
Showboat, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. You should read Showboat. Have you read Showboat by Lazenby, Roland Lazenby?
Oh yeah, yeah. Do I have that over there? I
That
got
book
it
is what
somewhere.
gave me probably my most insightful look at Kobe, even as a fan. And like, it was well written, well sourced. Well, that to me was the best book, Kobe book.
Yeah, I interviewed him once for that book actually.
Nice,
Uh, that's
nice.
another guy you should reach out to. I bet you he'd jump on with you. He's great. Talk
Yeah,
about
that
a
book's like
down to earth
700.
guy. Yeah, it's pretty big. I got the mentality book right there. The was the one from Mamba Mentality with Bernstein, the
Yep,
photographer,
yep.
the longtime Andrew Bernstein. He's another guy that you should reach out to. I
Oh
think he
yeah,
would
I'm
come on
about
with
to.
you.
Once we get this done, I'm gonna write down a list of all these people. And actually, because you touched on a lot as you went. So what I want to say first of all, I don't know what your faith is, but God clearly has His hand on you, just from the story that you told.
Yeah,
Now,
I've heard
also,
that. Yeah.
I want to say the question that I had, because you answered most of the background questions. What is College of the Canyons? Is that a university? Is that a JUCO?
No, it's a junior college, but now I think it's a 4 year. I think. I
Oh,
think they've changed it. Um,
okay.
if you Magic Mountain, you ever been to Magic Mountain?
No, 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 no.
The music, have you heard of it? The amusement park?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah.
That's like the hub of that town. Like that town, I mean, it would exist, but that's why everybody knows it, because it's like 30 miles outside of LA. It's
Hmm.
like tucked into this valley. Um, but it's like one of those towns where everybody worked there, right? Like
Okay.
that's what kept the town going, because every kid is gone and worked there. It's like I worked there, all my buddies worked there, cousins worked there. My aunt, like 20 years before me, worked there. It's one of those kind of things, right? Um,
Okay.
but yeah, there's a charm to that town, but there's literally nothing to do there except for play basketball. Yeah,
And another thing I was gonna say, the fact that you are a you didn't do creative writing, but you're a creator, you're creative. And I mean, I hear Anheuser-Busch, I hear Canyons, I hear Santa Clarita. Some tells me
yeah.
you probably, you could have stayed going the construction route and probably, still
Oh
carve something
yeah.
out. So I think that it's dope that you were willing to, go out on your own and that you've been able to make something from it. What's your favorite sport to cover? Obviously, you said you cover, each team that you're passionate about. What's your favorite sport?
NBA. I mean, it's what got me into it. It's I always think if you played a sport, I mean, I never went to college or anything like that. I just played with a lot of the best players in town. Growing up, like my buddy Skius McDaniel, his dad actually played for the Lakers. He was a
Oh, wow.
center behind Kareem. Um,
Who is
and he was our guy. Uh, he was like the guy, like, growing up, you're like, oh, that guy's going pro, right? He's the best guy in the city, and he actually wants to come on my podcast, and we keep missing time. I think he lives on the East Coast now, but he best basketball player I think I ever played with, and he went to UNLV. He got a scholarship over there, and I remember that was the moment that I realized I might be good at basketball, but I'm nowhere near great, right?
it?
Because he uh he went off, and we're all like, oh, we're just waiting for him to get drafted one day, right? And then just see where he goes in his career. I'm working at Magic Mountain, funny enough, and I'm in the games department, right? So there's where you go to those like carnival games or whatever at an amusement park or a fair or something. So I'm working one, and I see him, and I'm like, oh my god, Skis, what's up? And he comes over and he's like, what's up, man? And I'm like, dude, I haven't heard from you in forever. How'd it go? I mean, are you at UNLV, you starting, or what are you doing? He's like, Ryan, you wouldn't believe the kind of shape you have to be in to be that good, right? And I'm looking at this guy, he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him, and he's the best baller I'd ever played with. And it just was like a moment, like you're just like, oh man, I don't even know what it takes to be a pro, or even a Division 1 player. It just blew me away, and then all my dreams of basketball just went away in an
Yeah.
instant. It was like, okay, I'm done.
But
That
you
just
played
put
in high
me
school
in
though?
check. No, I just played with the high school players. I wasn't brave
Oh,
enough. I
okay.
tried out once when I thought I was. That's another story. So I went to William S. Hart High School, and I was starting to get cocky in my senior year, right? And thought I was pretty good because I was playing with all the other guys that was really good in the city. And
Mhm.
I saw our team, and our team sucked. They weren't good at all, right? So I remember I was like, okay, I can make this team. I can play on this team. So but I did it in a cocky, stupid way. In retrospect, it was just they were trying to make an example of me, but it didn't work. So they bring me in for a practice, right? One of my buddies was on the team, and I'm going through all the workouts and all that stuff. And then they had me guard the best player on the team, who was a power forward, but he was the most predictable, stiff dude. Like, I'm trying to think of a comp,
No bag. No bag.
like a Tyler Hansbrough type guy. You know what I mean? Like, just goofy white guy, just so predictable. I mean, I blocked his shot 4 straight possessions, 4 straight possessions, and I'm not even a forward. I was a guard, right? Like, they put this. I mean, he was what, 6'4", and I'm 6'1", right? And that was big, in this school or whatever.
Yeah.
And I worked him. I mean, he didn't stand a chance against me at all. And then there was one play where I blocked the ball out of bounds, and I see the ball running off, and I played pickup forever, so there's no like hustle and pickup. So I just walked to the ball rather than running after it. And the team captain at the time goes, hustle like this. And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So I go and I run to get to the ball. And I think that's what rubbed the coach the wrong way, that I didn't
Yeah.
run for the ball and I was cocky and all that. And then after the practice, he's like, yeah, I don't have a spot for you. Because it was one of those situations where I'd have to be like Jordan walking into the gym to take somebody else's spot because the team was already established,
Yeah.
So
You was
that
acting
that
like
was
Jordan.
yeah. Yeah, I was a cocky little shit, but yeah, that was the end of my basketball career in terms of like doing so. And then there was a time at COC where I got really close to the women's coach who had won like titles forever, and he was doing me up, but I never made the jump.
Okay.
Ski has put me in line, man. He's just like, dude, I just was like, okay, I can't do this. That's another level. It's just
All
another
right.
level.
Last background question. Outside of sports and sports coverage, who are you? What are your hobbies outside of like the sports world in general?
I, I mean, I just like hanging out with the buddies. Like camping is one. We got an annual trip that we've done for like literally 20 years. Um, and I don't really. I'm so into this whole thing with sports. I don't really have anything else that I mean, I love movies. Like how you were talking about entertainment before, right?
Yeah.
That's probably something I would have done if sports fell through. I probably would have tried to go into that direction because I love movies. I'm all about
Yeah.
so that's a hobby, I guess. Movies,
Sports
TV
pop
shows.
culture 90s guy. Okay, we probably got a lot in common for sure. All right, let's talk Lakers,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Okay.
And before I start into the Lakers talk, like how far back does your like Lakers just fanhood go? Because like I said, obviously I'm born in the 90s, but I feel like I know them back to the damn late 70s. You know what I mean?
The first game I ever watched was I don't even remember exactly when it was. It must have been early 90s because I remember Magic Johnson still had a goatee, but I was super young and I was living with my grandparents at the time. I must have been single digits, right? And my granddad was a sports fanatic. He was like, I was wearing a Liverpool shirt earlier, but my whole family's English, right? So we're from England,
Mhm.
from Liverpool, and so it's all about Liverpool, right? Liverpool, Liverpool. And when he moved over here to the States, and the whole family followed him, um, he started to love football. He started to love tennis. He was a big tennis guy, big golf guy, and a big basketball guy. So one night I think my mom had already gone to bed or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, come in here. I want you to watch this." And it was Lakers Celtics, and with Magic with the goatee. I just remembered that distinctly, and um, that's when I got hooked on sports. It was right. I remember the moment. I just can't remember the date and how old I was. I just know I was super young, and yeah. So it was probably the tail end of Showtime, right? Like the
Yeah.
very end of it, probably. Um,
Okay.
and then it carried over, and me and my buddies we worshipped Jordan. It was, I mean, I'm looking at Jordan right now in front of me, and we got this awesome Kobe Jordan. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then it just went from there, right? It was all about Jordan, and then Kobe came along. I hated Kobe in the beginning. I despised him because I thought he just wanted to be like Jordan, and he was just copying everything he was doing. But then he grew on me, really. I mean, really grew on me, uh, and it just went from there. I mean, yeah, it's and ever since it's been Lakers, Raiders, unfortunately, uh, Liverpool, and Dodgers.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna have some fun then. Okay. And what I'll say
Yeah.
is I actually just finished the Laz and B. Jordan book. That was a pretty good book too, which I've learned some crazy stuff about Michael Jordan's father, but amazing book for sure. I don't
Yeah,
know if you read that
yeah.
one, but that You did read that one? That one's good for sure. Like
This
honestly, the
this
whole
one
like lead up.
you got to
Yeah,
read
go
the
ahead.
Jordan Rules, by I
Oh yeah, I
think it's
haven't read
Sam
that.
Smith.
I haven't read that. Sam Smith, and
Good,
that was he
good.
was. I learned about him in the Lazenby book. He was a reporter or something on the Bulls sideline,
Hmm.
right? That's and used
Yeah,
all the stuff that he got to write the book.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of inside stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know how
and
those
I
guys. Yeah,
oh my bad.
talk about a crazy time because now, I mean, back then they had to take notes on their, notepads and just so much more work than we have to do now, right? We just take a video, audio, everything can transcribe for you. It's they must look at us like, oh, you guys don't even know. You got no idea how hard it was.
No,
And
no,
then,
for sure.
and then social media on top of it, that's I think that's our difference, right? Like I don't know how they would deal with social media back then, but we deal with it now. And then,
Hmm.
players, you could literally interact with players like right now if you wanted to, right? Like
Yeah.
just poke KD and he's going to say something or go at you somehow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they how would they deal with the saturation? Be my question. But all right, now let's get into this Lakers talk. And I'll tell you, I think it's funny that you said Magic with the goatee. I have this thing where I literally can like tell you if I look at a picture and I see like even if it's Kobe without the fro, where he's wearing his wristband or how his beard is, I can tell you exactly what year it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or he's got
I have
that
this.
the brace or whatever. Because what did he? He broke his hand, didn't he? Like when he was a
What was that?
rookie.
Yeah, yep.
He
97,
had the cast on
97.
there.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Yep. And there's like different things. Like if he's wearing it like up here, it's like 0203. If he's wearing it down here, it's 0304. If he's
Yeah, it
wearing
was
the
more copying Jordan. He was like wherever Jordan's sweatband was Kobe's or like on the calf,
yep.
like
The
the
leg band, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm that kind of. And I remember my first moment. It was watching Kobe dunk on Keem Olajuwon. So yeah, we got a lot in common. But all right, let's get to it. All right, so Pat Riley was recently honored, deservedly so. What would you say? Obviously, he orchestrated Showtime. How much credit do you feel like Jack McKinney and even Paul West had, but it's really McKinney playing style? Like, do you feel how much credit do you feel like they deserve, like in the whole Showtime?
Well, McKinney definitely deserves a lot, right? Like he was kind of the thing that got the ball rolling in a sense, right? And then Pat Riley, because I think the biggest difference was probably the way that they talked to the players. I think Pat Riley earned their respect, right? And then maybe McKinney didn't have it yet, and then he had that accident, right? The bike accident or whatever, and then it was it went on that totally different um, trajectory after that, obviously, right? Uh, it's I think Pat Riley talk about a crazy kind of like a storybook career, right? Like winning as a player, right? As a role player with Wilt and Jerry West, right? And then becoming or I think he went into was it broadcasting first, and then an assistant coach, and then a head coach, and then an executive. I mean, Jesus, like it just talk about a guy who just kept putting the ceiling higher, right? Um, just insane. But yet, I mean, McKinney's interesting. I wish I knew more about it. I mean, I learned a lot from that show, right? The recent
Yeah,
show, right?
winning time.
Because I didn't realize it was that complex and how that all panned out and how he kind of got the short end of the stick, right? Unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I mean, but you can't take away from Pat. I mean, think about it. Like Pat Riley had to prove himself every step of the way, right? It just didn't stop. Um, and then I think at the end of the Showtime era, him and the Magic and Kareem butted heads and stuff, and it just and then he goes on to the Knicks and he goes on to Miami. Um, but what an incredible career. Yeah.
Yeah, Pat Riley was a leader of men. That's what I would say. Like
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
said because I feel like the name Jack McKinney needs to be said more. Paul Westhead, who won the championship with the Lakers
Yeah.
after McKinney had his bike accident, he got
Well, him and
fired
Magic. Yeah.
because he didn't want to really fully implement the Showtime. He wanted to
No.
go back to Kareem, which
His
I've
ego
heard.
started talking. That's what happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure
Okay, all
Kareem
right.
was like, yeah, let's listen to this guy, but you gotta listen to Magic, right? Because Magic was, he was it, right? They don't become Showtime without Magic, even though Kareem was huge, worthy, had his role and but it's not Showtime without Magic, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not.
No, that's all time Laker talk. I appreciate that. How about
Yeah.
Jerry West? Why do you think Jerry West didn't want to coach a team, and where do you think Jerry West ranks as a general manager or as an executive in his time with the Lakers?
Well, I think one constant that you see, and at least in the NBA, I don't know so much in the NFL, but great players, like iconic, you know, guys that change the game, they can't be coaches, right? Because they're more of like a lead by example, right? I mean, I think maybe Larry Bird is probably the exception because he was pretty damn good as a head coach. He just didn't have a long coaching career. I think it was probably by choice, but um, you just notice with these guys, like the guys that are just unbelievable players, uh, just can't do it the same way, right? Because if they're screwing up on the floor, they can just take over, right? Just give me the ball, get out of the way, kind of thing. Like, so you never saw Jordan try it. You know, I mean, Kobe was adamant about not wanting to be a head coach at all, ever, right? and he hated the whole AAU thing, you know, like kind of ruining the game in his opinion. And
Yeah,
I kind of agree with him with that. But um, and then Magic tried it, and it was a joke, right? I
5 and
think,
11.
yeah, like it was. I remember I was amped for it when it happened, and I didn't know at the time. I didn't know the game as well as I do now. Like it just doesn't work, right? Because you can motivate and you can motivate and you can motivate, but you can't. Like Pat Riley's just different. Phil Jackson's just different. Like
Yeah,
Steve Kerr's just different. Spoelstra's
role
different.
players. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, all role players. I mean, Spoelstra I don't think played. He was like a video coordinator
yeah,
or something like that, right? But those are the guys that excel because they see it from a different perspective, I think. Right. They can
yeah,
step away. Whereas the other guys be like, you know what? If this falls apart, I give me the ball, get the hell out of the way. Right. I'll
yeah,
lead us by
yeah,
example. But
yeah,
the other guys knew it from like a mental, how do I get the group together rather than being that leading force where everybody's got to follow. Right. So
yeah,
it's interesting though, right? You would think, you know, those guys would be incredible coaches, but it just doesn't work. And I think it might be an ego thing too, right? Butting heads with guys, be like, hey, look, you know, I'm Magic Johnson. You know, look what I've done, right? Like
yeah,
how can you argue with what I've done?
yeah.
I'm sure that's happened plenty of times. I mean, he couldn't even get along with Palenka, right?
Oh yeah,
As
I
in the
want to get
front
into that.
office. Yeah, like
And he's coming back.
yeah, I don't know if I believe that totally. I think Magic
I
learned
think
his lesson with this
I
last
think
one.
he's gonna be an advisor.
Oh,
We
he
don't.
definitely will be. He
Yeah,
definitely will. I think Lon Rosen said in a statement or something that he'll always be, you know, a phone call away or something like that, but he's not going to be in the day-to-day activities and decision making process and stuff like that. So he'll just be somebody that they call if they need advice on something, but I don't know how often that's going to happen.
yeah. We'll
But
see.
you know,
We'll see.
I mean Magic's going to be itching though, you know. He'll be like, you know, I need to put my imprint on this a little bit, but he might be over that too now though. I
If
mean, you
I
think
just want
about
to make a
Magic.
prediction, Magic is coming back. I don't know nothing. I don't know none of it. I don't know. Magic is coming back.
It
Promise.
wouldn't shock me, but I don't know. I don't know.
And guess who? Yeah, we're gonna get into him and Palinka. I appreciate you bringing that up. But I also agree with you on that Jerry West first part of that answer because I had even saying with football, like it's easy, not easy, it's much easier to see why a running back ain't hit the hole from the bleachers, like where the offensive coordinator is,
Yeah.
versus you
Yeah.
running it. You know what I mean? So that I get
Uh-huh.
that with the player versus great player, role player. How about as a GM? Where do you rank him as like a GM and an executive and things like that?
Palenka?
No, Jerry West.
Oh, amazing. Incredible. I mean, he's one of the best ever, if not the best ever, right? Um, I think he's like Riley that way, right? He was able to transition into another thing and adapt to it. He didn't want the coaching thing. I mean, there was that weird press conference uh when Dr. Bust announced both of them at the same time. Like they were football coaches, like offensive coordinator, defense. I was like, because I didn't know that. I was too young for that, right? But when I look back and can't remember. It was some documentary, right, that came out recently,
No, I've seen
and they
it. I've
showed it.
seen it.
I was like,
It's hilarious.
God, that's some awkward shit right there, man. That's just weird. And you could tell Jerry West was totally uncomfortable with it. Like, why are we doing this? This doesn't make sense. And I think Jerry Buss was kind of a relationship guy, right? He probably had a really good relationship with
Mhm.
Pat Riley and a really good one with Jerry West. And he didn't want to ruin anything like that. So he's like, "Oh, let's all do it together," right? But that just
Yeah.
doesn't work, right? You have to have that one voice, right? He's the end all be all. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, shocker that didn't last very long, right?
Yeah, best. I like that though. One of the best, and I think he jumped right up after that, and he corrected it kind of quick. Like, cause yeah, it was
Yeah,
that was mad awkward. Obviously, I had to
super
look back
awkward.
on the archives, but if you haven't seen
Yeah,
that, go watch that right now.
yeah,
I do want
it's
to.
weird.
I want to ask about one specific Lakers team. The Lakers won in 80, 82, 85, 87, and 88. But I want to ask you about the 1989 Lakers. What do you recall about the 1989 Lakers? Just by asking that team, if you ever look back.
I think it was just the it was the realization that the league had changed because the Pistons brought in a whole other style of basketball, like beat you up. I mean, not to say that the Lakers weren't physical because they dealt with their, physical battles with the Boston Celtics, but the Pistons took it to another level entirely, right? Like bad boys throw you on the ground, hit you in the mouth. We don't care. We're all about us. We'll beat the crap out of you physically, and then that's going to take a toll on you mentally. And then, I mean, the Lakers still got back in '91, but then they met another, evolution of the game with Michael Jordan, right? And then it was just that was that for the next decade, essentially, right? With a
Yeah.
small, Houston Rockets run, but um, that must have been tough for them, just being dominant for so long, and this scrappy team comes in and takes them down, and especially with the dynamic between Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas. That seemed a little odd. It seemed like those guys were super close, but
Hmm.
then it got testy, and then they were super close again. And then after their playing days, they hated each other for a spell, and now they're friends again. It's I don't know. It, I wish I knew more behind the scenes stories about what happened back then. Right? I'm sure there's some crazy stories, like
Oh, for
crazy
sure.
stories. I always try to get them to tell me um, on these interviews, but they never do. They never give me the nitty gritty ones, man.
You got to go up
Because
there
the
with Byron
best.
Scott when they be drinking.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually had drinks with James Worthy, Kurt Rambis, and Robert Ory one time.
Fire.
It was it was an event for some credit union partnership with the Lakers, and I got invited to go cover, and I was able to interview all three of those guys. It's for Clutch Points, I think, at the time, and we go. It's some like old ass theater, like movie theater type thing, and we go in, we watch some promo video. A lot of Lakers were there. Anthony Davis was like the core guy there. LeBron wasn't there,
Mm.
and a bunch of other dudes. Kuzma, I think. Um, anyway, so we go and we go down in like the depths of this old ass theater into this random tiny room, right? And we've all got free drinks the whole night. Free drinks, right? It was awesome. It was really awesome. So we go down there and they're half hammered, all three of them. I mean, not super hammered, but like comfortable, right? Like they're having a good
Yeah.
time. They're enjoying themselves. They're not all like tight lipped and they're not going to tell us anything. You know what I mean? So we got to just bounce questions off them. And it was really cool to see them in that kind of relaxed environment, right?
Mm.
I mean, James Worthy is hilarious. That guy is absolutely hilarious. And Kurt Rambis is actually kind of funny too. He seems kind of like uptight, right? You would think, but no, not that night. And Robert Ory is really cool too. I've interviewed him a couple times. But and then we got to go back upstairs to the rooftop, and it was free drinks all night. And I got to see Frank Vogel pretty wasted, which was That guy's the nicest guy in the world. Oh my God. I felt so bad when he got fired.
Yeah,
I
and a
felt so
championship
bad.
coach. Shout out Frank Vogel, man.
Ooh,
Yeah, but no, I asked you about, which I don't know, I don't know where we went all the way, but I asked you about
sorry.
the 1989 Lakers only because something about, and it's obviously all reading and looking back for me, but I even read like an old Showtime book when I was in probably third, fourth grade. But the 1988 and 1989 Lakers and Pistons series make me think about karma. I actually think the 1989 Lakers was one of the best teams that it seems. They swept through the playoffs just like the 2001 Lakers did. And then they was holding practices right before when they should have been probably resting. Byron Scott tears his hamstring, and I
Oh,
think
that's
Magic
right. And then I
Johnson
think
tears
Magic
his
got hurt
hamstring.
too, right?
Yeah, I think Magic Johnson tears his hamstring early in game two or something like that. That that Lakers 1989 team was on a generational run right before the final started. So I mean, don't get me wrong, Isaiah Thomas, same thing happened in 1988 when he hurt his he hurt his ankle or something like that. He went off for 25 points,
Oh,
and then I
that's
think he
right.
had to miss the
Yeah.
next game. And
That was
yeah,
it.
but in
It blew
1989,
up
the
like a
same
balloon.
thing
Yeah.
kind of happened. They were 11-0 through the playoffs, and then they end up getting injured. I think Pat Riley's intensity, the same reason that they won all four of those championships, is the reason they didn't three-peat. That's why I asked that question actually.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, a lot of iconic moments there too. And it just reminds me of when Kareem got hurt too, and that first finals with where Magic had to take over, right, as a
Mm-hmm.
rookie, and he played
Double
center.
point guard
Um,
Lakers. Oh, sorry, I dropped my phone. The double point guard Lakers with Magic and Norm Nixon.
yeah, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, you think about it, and then what did he say? There's that famous story. He comes on the plane after they know that Kareem's not gonna play. He's all never fear, Magic's here, or something like that. And he sits where Kareem would normally sit, or whatever.
The
Yeah,
heart and
Magic is
soul.
character, man.
I swear, I probably remember his stat: 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. That's how
Oh,
much
insane. Yeah,
uh,
insane.
Johnson that game. 42
You
points,
don't you
15 rebounds, 7 assists.
you don't see guys like do stuff like that now, right? Like there's not that second tier star that can just fill. I mean, maybe Kobe, like during like when Shaq fouled out of that game against the Pacers, right, in the finals, and then Kobe just took over.
I
Even at
probably got a funny comparison. I would say the rallying cry is probably the biggest thing in like the leadership. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton before he tears his Achilles. You know, like how he
oh
came
god,
out.
yeah,
You
God, I
know what
felt
I
that
mean?
for him.
Like, all right,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that
let me.
sucks. Yeah,
I
he
wanted
was
to
he
ask.
was on fire before he went down. Was Didn't he hit like three threes or something?
I think he hit three or four or something like that. That was the funny
Yeah,
part is I barely watched that series because I was so when the Lakers lost at Timberwolves, which I'm actually about that too. I went into like a little like life depression. I didn't want to watch no basketball, but I ended
yeah, I
up
know a lot
catching
of
like
girls.
to that series. Yeah, no, with Tyree, the way he came out before he tore his Achilles, generational, and nobody's gonna talk about it because you lost. So the same
Yeah,
way
well, I mean,
1989 Lakers.
maybe because people talk. I mean, think about the Isaiah Thomas, spraining his ankle and then going nuts. People still talk about that, you
That's
know.
true. Yeah,
So
no, that's true.
maybe,
That's
but
true.
if it's a
All
little
right.
different, it was a whole game, right? It wasn't, I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how Halliburton played like the first half, maybe, right? Or was it just the first
First
quarter?
quarter, I think he was going pretty
Yeah.
quick, but I'm about to go back and watch it afterwards after this. But I want to move you along on this Lakers talk. Who's your favorite 1990s Laker?
Nick Van Exel.
Oh, okay, perfect. And
No,
that's actually
like
great.
no hesitation there. Like he was my guy. I loved him.
I swear, my
I
next question, if I
yeah.
say if I mean I got three names, but we'll start with that. If I say 190s Laker, if I say Nick Van Exel, what do you say?
Nick the Quick. But what do you mean? Like another player?
No, no, no. Or I'm sorry, that was probably terribly. Let me just say a name of a '90s Laker and tell me what comes to your mind. That's a better way to word it. Nick Van. Let's start with Nick Van Exel.
I'd say raise the roof. For one, I'd say that the shaving his eyebrows here, like he had two lines in his eyebrows. Nobody did that before. Guy was just different. He was he was brash. He was cocky, but confident cocky, right? I remember he had a thing where he would get to the free throw line and he would step back a foot, right? Like there was literally like go back and look at the highlights. He is literally like a foot away from the free throw line. Like just to say, like I can hit this no problem. Like let me just challenge myself a little bit more. There was something he was wired differently. He's my dream interview. That is one guy I've not been able to get. I've tried to get him for years, and I haven't been able to get him. I'll get him
Have
one
you
day.
met him?
No, no,
Okay,
never
yeah,
met him.
pull up, go to one of his events. You can put a camera, you'll be able to get it done. But all right,
I'll get him. I'll get him one
the
day. They
when
can't
I
duck
think
me
Nick Van
for too long.
when I think Nick Van Exel, I think that Boston Garden game winner.
Oh yeah, he
I
shut
think the
down the
switch
parquet
hand,
floor, right?
the switch hands against the Suns.
So what the game winner? He hit the game winner, and he that was the last game played at Boston Garden. Last game.
Yep,
I mean,
yep,
how embarrassing is that? He hits a game winner, shuts down that whole iconic, arena for life. Like that's it.
yep. Close the
Yeah,
Boston Garden. All right,
he
two
was
more
a
nineties.
killer, man. He was a killer.
Just two more
Oh, go ahead.
nineties Lakers, and then we're gonna get to Kobe and Shaq. Eddie Jones. What do you comes to your
Oh,
mind when you hear Eddie Jones?
the he would be today a potential superstar. He is the ideal 3-and-D guy, right? And this is way before three-pointers became a thing. Kind of Nick Van Exel too, but not defense. I mean, Eddie Jones was kind of like a quiet assassin. You never heard him talk, right? I mean, I even thinking right now, I don't even know what his voice sounds like. And I
Me,
loved the guy. I used to have his shoes, his Jordans, because he was Jordan brand, right? And he had it kind of looked like the Jordan 12s, right? But like reverse a little bit. I remember me and my buddies, we all had them, and we used to play ball in them, and they were pretty comfortable. But he was awesome. He had an iconic dunk too, where he came down the middle of the lane, and I'll never forget it because I called my buddy Tom instantly. I was like, "Did you see where he just jumped from? Like he literally took one step into the free throw line and just glided to the hoop. I can't remember who they were playing, but it was just so like uncharacteristic, or it was for the time, right? People didn't do bold stuff like that, and he did that. Nick, that whole crew, that's one of my favorite Laker teams ever. Van Exel, Sabalas, Eldon Campbell, and then Shaq. Oh God, I love those guys. All those Sean Rooks. That was one of my favorite
Tom
teams
Brooks.
ever. That got me into like big time being a Lakers guy. Chick Kern was calling games. I mean, it was just it was a
Man,
great time. That was so much fun watching because
beautiful
they all
times.
they all had heart. They all played with heart. Like they all wanted to win so bad. It's just the other teams in the league were just a little bit better, right? Utah Jazz, Karl Malone, Stockton, all that. Um,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's one of my favorite teams ever, ever.
yeah. And actually, Eddie Jones got a layup from about 19 feet. I promise you. Go look it up. He got about a 19-foot
Yeah,
finger.
I've seen that too. Yeah. Oh,
But
I know what you're talking about.
the last person I was going to ask was Sabalos, and you said Sabalos. So give me
Yeah.
something on said Sabalos.
Score. Like that guy could get hot on any given night. I think he dropped, what was it, 50 or 51? Was it
It might have
50?
been a 50 ball for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, we're all like, whoa, I didn't know he could do that. Right. Because I think they had such a unique squad in terms of all these guys being in their prime at the same time. Right. And it coming together, and then they all got broken up. Right. Then it was like, Eddie Jones goes to Charlotte for Glenn Rice, and uh, Nick Van Exel became kind of a cast off. I think he went to Denver. Um, and I was pissed when that happened because it was obviously because of Kobe, right? Because Kobe, I think Shaq had something to do with it too, but it was because Kobe was coming up, and they're like, "Hey, we need to build
Yeah.
around this," because Jerry West was a huge Kobe guy, obviously. Um, it just sucked because I think that they had 4 All-Stars in that one year. I can't remember which year it was. 98. 98. It was Eddie Jones, Kobe Bryant, Nick Van Exel, and Shaq. 4
Mhm.
All-Stars on the same team. Those guys were just ridiculous, and it sucked
Only one
because
of
I
them
felt
didn't belong, and it was Kobe. That's crazy that he's my
yeah,
favorite
you're
player.
right,
But
yeah,
they was running an
hmm
aggressive Adidas marketing campaign, which gets me to my next question. What do you know? I know you said you didn't like Kobe initially. What do you
Yeah.
know about like the story of Kobe being drafted to the Lakers, and what does the name Sonny Vaccaro mean to you?
He's the shoe guy, right? He's the guy that
Yeah.
yeah. Um there was something with what's his face? Calipari with the New Jersey Nets. I think
Mm-hmm.
Calipari wanted Kobe bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and then it got shaken up somehow, right? I can't remember how it happened. It's I haven't thought about that in a long time.
It was Adidas. Adidas.
Was it
Hell no. Kobe needs to be in a big market.
right?
So I think
Okay,
Jerry West
yeah,
was Sonny Vaccaro's guy, and that's
with the
why he
crazy
got. That's
eights.
how he
Yeah,
initially got the workout.
that's one pair of Kobe shoes I never had. Is the crazy eights. I always wanted them, and
Me
they
either though.
re-released them recently, didn't they? Like a few years ago,
I believe
and
a
they were
little after
still
he passed, like some limited.
yeah. And I didn't.
Interesting
I didn't
story
get
though,
them.
bro, because I'm
Yeah,
telling you, I think something similar happened with Michael Jordan was the prototype, but they seen Kobe coming from junior year pretty much, or Sonny Vaccaro did because of Kobe's father, Jellybean, played with him and he brought Kobe to one of Sonny Vaccaro's camp. Once Sonny Vaccaro seen him and realized he's like, okay, the next year he came to his camp, they started lining him up for the NBA. They was like, you can either go to Duke or you can sign with Adidas. Pretty
yeah.
much. But if you sign
Well,
with
I
Adidas,
think Sonny had his ear to the ground a lot, right? Like he always knew the next guy. He was really smart, super smart.
yep, yep.
Um, he's a Matt Damon's the one that plays him in that movie, right? Air.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that New Jersey Nets story you just told, after I read, or at least I read that in the Showboat book, so I feel like
Yeah,
it got to be true. You know?
yeah. I think I wrote an article about that years ago when that book came out. I think is because I remember I asked Roland. I was like, dude, you gotta you gotta tell me where to go in the book, so I can pinpoint the best stories and promote it or whatever. And he was really cool about that. He's like, yeah, go to page, here, here, here. Um,
Yeah, he got a lot
but
of them, and he makes it. When he
what's
talks
up?
about Kobe, like when he talks about Kobe taking out like rookie second rounders coming in trying to make the team, he gets pretty detailed, man. So yeah, that
Yeah,
I'm gonna read. I'm I need connect me, definitely connect me. But
yeah,
one quick question.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Because we on Kobe and
Well,
Shaq. How for the kids? Because we're probably both a little older. How dominant was Shaq?
unstoppable, like quite literally the definition of the word, unstoppable. I've never seen somebody so physically imposing, um, but also athletically gifted and talented, right? Like, I mean, the guy didn't even have a jump shot, and he was destroying everyone. Everyone. I mean, we even tried to growing up. He had a little baby hook, right? He would do like these little turnaround baby hooks, and we would try and do that, right? Off the glass or just straight up shooting. Uh, I just when what's kind of crazy is like if you look at him in the Orlando Magic, he was in shape, right? Like, just totally toned and everything. And he was a force of nature. But it wasn't until he got to the Lakers that he got to that god tier, right? Like he was just on another level. And I'm not quite sure what unlocked him, right? Like it might have just been situational, right? It was maybe he didn't have, Penny, who was being considered kind of on the same level as him at that in Orlando, because Kobe wasn't there yet, right? Kobe wasn't to that level yet. I mean, he was there, he just wasn't to that level. Um, he didn't get enough credit for how dominant he was, right? I think it's because, what overshadows it is because Kobe became so great afterwards, right? It's because if Kobe or if Shaq was able to stay in shape, if he was able to focus on his body and maintaining and not being close to 400 pounds or whatever he was that one year, I think he even admitted that he was
Yeah.
pushing it. Um, God knows what that guy could have done. My God, I mean, there's that famous. Have you seen that picture in the NBA Finals against the New Jersey Nets, where literally like all five guys are trying to guard him, and
Grabbing
you
his
could just tell.
jersey.
Yeah, there's just nothing that they could do. Like literally nothing they could do. The guy is he's like a tornado, coming through a town. What can you do? You just got to get shelter, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
that's all you can
Actually,
do.
that leads to my next question because stuff did heat up kind of last year. Back there in that Shaq and Kobe times, Kobe and Shaq times, however you want to look at it, was Kobe carried?
Was he carried?
Yeah, remember last summer that was
Oh, no
kind of like
way.
the talk of the
No way.
basketball. Okay.
No. If you watched those games, those guys were not equally. It was dominant in two different ways, right? Like Kobe could literally do anything on the basketball floor, but physically, Shaq was just on another level. Like there was no other human that could body him, right? I think the first time, well, I mean, like Hakeem did. Hakeem worked him in that finals, right? It's because that's probably, you know what, that now that I think of it, that's what took him to the next level. Is Shaq realized, hey, look, I can't just completely um, count on my physical strength and everything because I'm going to go up
Mm.
against a guy like Akeem who's got the footwork, he can shoot. I mean, Akeem was basically the first center who could do guard things, right? He had the footwork. He could shoot. He could take you. He was quick as shit. And his moves, the dream shake. Oh my god! There's that one highlight was it was against David Robinson where he's just faking left and right, ball
Yeah,
fakes, and then it just goes up with ease. It's just what do you do against that? But then Shaq just it all just came together. But that's the thing is people that don't like Kobe go back to lean on that, like, oh, well, you were second tier to Shaq. Well, at one point, they were kind of neck and neck in terms of
yeah,
how dominant they were, right? Like they just, but people don't really because it's overshadowed by Shaq getting an MVP, by Shaq getting Finals MVPs, right? It's you had to be there, you had to watch it, right? You had to
yeah.
see it.
In
Kobe was just as
2001, if
important.
Shaq,
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. In 2001, if Shaq was the best player in NBA, Kobe was probably second or third.
it's similar to Jordan and Pippen, right? Like
Oh yeah.
Jordan was so damn good. I mean, just iconically good, right? And generationally good. But Pippen wasn't too far from him, right? Like he was the best, arguably the best defender in the NBA was Scottie
Mm.
Pippen, if not just perimeter defender. And I think even Phil Jackson said it. Yeah, like he's the second best player in the NBA. Is Scottie Pippen, and if you watched, you saw it. But Jordan was just different in the way
Yeah.
that Shaq is just different, right? It's just, and then Kobe became different, right? It's
Mm.
like when Powell came, Powell, I think was it Paul Pierce that recently said that he thought that Powell should have got the 2010 Finals MVP.
Dwayne Wade said that too.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kobe struggled in Game 7. I remember he kind of wasn't hitting shots, and he ripped down a ton of rebounds though, from what I remember. But
Mhm.
that's still BS.
Yeah,
Like
I
I mean,
agree.
I give Powell his flowers. He was amazing, amazing. Talk about a change from '08 to 10, right? Like
Oh yeah.
different guy, right? Just different guy. Um, and he's another guy like I think should get a statue outside of Staples, or at least be in the conversation. I think. I mean, okay, I'll ask you, who do you think should be next, or who do you think is in the conversation?
To get a statue outside of well, crypto now.
I don't call it crypto.
Yeah, no,
That's
I know. I always call it Staples too.
naming rights.
I don't know, man. That's rough because I mean, I
I only see
don't
three.
particularly feel like anybody that I can think of. Like,
Phil
and
Jackson, man.
oh yeah, there
Pat
you
Riley
go.
has one. Yeah, Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson would be the only. I don't think Powell. Like, I love
Well, I think
Powell.
Powell's he's it'd be a stretch, right? It'd probably be forcing it a little bit because he got the jersey retirement. That's probably enough. But if
Yeah.
I would go Phil one, James Worthy two, and then Powell three, right?
Okay.
I don't think Powell will get one, and I hope Worthy gets one. I think he deserves one, honestly. Because
Worthy definitely deserves one more than Powell for sure.
oh yeah, more than Powell, yeah. But after
I don't
that, I don't think there's
that one's
anybody
tough.
else.
I I do love it out there though. I will say that I like that they got that out there. um, what was I gonna say? What was my next question? Oh, I had a question for Kobe after him and Shaq split. I had a question about one particular game, the Game 7 against the Suns in 2006. What was your thoughts at that time?
You're talking about the pat on the butt. No, that
No,
was later.
that's 2010. I'm
Oh,
talking
are
about
you
when
talking
they
about
said
the
they
elbow
quit.
jumper?
The three
Oh,
one when we were
where,
up
where
3-1 versus Suns and they came back
yeah,
and he stopped
that
shooting in
was a
Game 7.
complicated time, man. It was like it's like they had finally got something going after a few years of just absolute crap, right? Kobe hit this another level, right? It was scoring out of his mind. Um, he was ready to leave. That's the crazy part. It's like
For
he was
sure.
willing to play for the Clippers of all teams. I even heard something like he was wearing Clippers shorts or colors of the Clippers on his shorts or something in some shoot around or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Do your own research on it. But like I heard that recently. I was Jeannie Buss might have been the one that said that. And I'm like, damn, dude, because I remember at the time I was like convinced he was gone. Like I'm like he's fed up. He's so done. Like he wants out, right? And Jerry West knew this. Like
Hmm.
desperately wanted to make a move, and then I'm surprised it got to where it got, and then they had that chance at Powell, like for was it Kwame Brown, Chucky Atkins, I think, right? What
Who
was
was
the
the
deal?
GM of the Grizzlies at the time?
Well, Jerry West, yeah. You
And he
can't
didn't
tell me
want
that
Kobe.
was not a doing a favor for Kobe.
Yeah, he
Uh,
didn't want Kobe to go to the Clippers. Like, oh look, he did not want Kobe to go to the Clippers at all. And then Pau
yeah,
Gasol lands on the
nobody
Lakers.
did.
Yeah.
That was God. That doesn't even look. I mean, I can't even picture that. Really, it doesn't. It
Nah,
doesn't.
that's crazy.
It's like Karl Malone in a Lakers jersey. That still doesn't look right to me
Yeah, I don't.
at all.
Still not a fan of
Yeah,
Karl Malone. But all right, this is another couple quick questions on Kobe. And we'll move you along. Kobe number 8 or Kobe 24? Who are you taking?
I would say 24
Why?
because
Let
I
me follow up.
because it was a mindset shift, right? I think 8 was an absolute killer, young, brash, cocky, um, but 24 was a was a turning point. He changed into a team guy, right? I don't think he was as much of a team guy until he made that change. I think he
I agree.
realized I'm not going to win another one if I don't adjust. Just same. I mean, he followed the same script as Jordan, right? Like Jordan realized, hey, I could put up 30 a night, win MVPs and all that stuff, but if I don't turn into a team guy, I'm not going to win shit. I'm not going to win anything, right? And he kind of admits that on The Last Dance, right? It's he had to change, and that's what Phil Jackson did. He brought that in, and then that's another thing, rekindling that relationship with Phil Jackson, and then those two just seeing eye to eye, and I don't know. I think I was more in tune to that Kobe, right? Like I watched more. I was more invested. Kobe started getting, his quotes were incredible, right? You could just tell he'd gone through, the whole Colorado thing and just so much off the court stuff. It just changed his mental makeup, and Black Mamba was born, right? Mamba mentality
Yeah.
was born. And I was locked in. I was like, I got to watch every move this guy makes. And I was already there, but like more so, I was like
Yeah.
intrigued. What's the next thing he's going to, what is he going to say next? What is he going to do next? Like, well, what's the next thing? Who's going to
Yeah.
challenge him? Who's going to talk trash to him? Like just everything he did, I was just so transfixed on it.
Yeah. I
Whereas
and it's
eight,
funny.
yeah, go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. No, no. Go ahead, please, please.
Well, I was gonna say whereas 8 was more of like highlights, right?
Yeah.
You remember more highlights and what he did on the floor in terms of amazing, you know, feats. I mean, he scored 81 in 8, right? He scored 61 and or was it 62 and three quarters in eight. Um,
Yeah.
but he won in 24 by himself. So, and I think
Yeah.
obviously that means more. It means more to me. I mean, that's what I hate about this era of the NBA. It's like the goal is to win. It's not to be, you know, the leading scorer in NBA history. You want to win more titles than anybody else. That's the goal.
Yeah.
What are we talking about with all these accolades and stuff? It's just that's the main accolade, right? That's a
Okay.
team accomplishment.
Yeah.
But
So you Kobe over LeBron like me, pretty much.
hell yeah.
Yeah. I
Not even
got
a discussion in my eyes.
one thing I will say, number 8 Kobe, to me, the best hooper killer basketball Kobe was 2003. Like even more than the 35-point Kobe. Like that to me is the best hooper killer Kobe. 24 Kobe was a leader. And I like
Yeah.
how you likened it to
Mhm.
Michael Jordan because I feel
Yeah.
like number 8 Kobe was, hey, I'm on my program. Y'all can watch me work hard. Y'all can do that, whatever. Y'all see what I'm on. I'm out. I don't
Yeah.
care what y'all on. By the time he's 24 and he's really trying to compete for championships as a leader, he has 12 guys programming just like him. Sasha Vujacic is moving just like Kobe.
The
Like, you know what I mean?
machine.
He's not Kobe, but they got the same mentality. Like,
That team, I've seen people like show the picture of that team, right? It's like a slightly overhead picture
oh
where
yes.
they're all standing there. It's a little dark in the background, and people are making fun of it. Like Kobe actually won with these guys. I'm like, that was a team.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was team first. Everyone on that team. I've
Yep.
never seen a team click. Um, I'm not going to say ever because the Bulls were incredible and Showtime Lakers were incredible, but that era, it was like a puzzle pieces. All those guys, they all fit together. You know,
Yep.
Lamar, Jordan Farmar, Josh Powell. I mean, all these role player guys all just
Shane
bought in.
Brown. Yep.
Yeah, like a
Trevor Ariza.
yeah. It all worked. And then like I remember, Trevor left and Meta came in, and everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know what the hell is this? How's this gonna work?" Kobe and him, button heads while he was at the Rockets and all that stuff, and it was seamless. It was absolutely seamless. Um, I enjoyed watching that Lakers team probably the most, other than the Van Exel Kobe
Wait,
Shaq.
09 or 10? Trevor Ariza or Meta?
Both
Okay.
years. Well, all
Back to
three
back.
years, all finals years, right?
Okay.
I just enjoyed that basketball. That was team basketball. And they did everything as a team. Everything was team based. It wasn't, I mean, Kobe got the shine and all that, and Powell once in a while, but I thought that team was just on a string. Luke Walton, like every guy came up with a play.
Yep.
Shannon Brown, that famous block it was a block that got called what was it, a foul
Foul.
or goaltending or whatever.
Foul.
Yeah,
They called a foul. Jordan
such
Farmar,
BS. Yeah,
the dunk in
Farmar.
game
I mean,
6 versus Celtics.
I got to
Actually,
2020 when I was working for Clutch Points. I came up with the idea. I was like, hey, why don't we do a 10th anniversary of that title team, right? And I'll go and I'll try and interview as many of those guys as possible. So I did. And I interviewed 80% of the team. Like I got Meta, Powell, Odom, Powell, Farmar, Fisher. I think that's where Adam Morrison, who's absolutely hilarious.
hey.
I love that guy. I think that was it. And Gary Vitti. Um, I couldn't. And then when I went after Kobe, that's when he passed away. Like
Oh,
literally the month that I went after Kobe, he passed away. It was terrible. But
that was
yeah,
my next
all those
question.
guys basically said the same thing. I remember Derek Fisher said something interesting though. He said that he liked the '09 team more than the 10. He thought that they were more like unstoppable and like just gelled better for some reason. And I was like, well, that's interesting. because I would
I
have
don't
thought
think the
10
I
would
don't
have
think the
been.
'09 team beats the Celtics though. But at the same
You don't think
time,
so?
I no, no. But at the same time, I feel like we needed our test. Like if you look 30 seconds into the series, going in Game 1 of 2010,
Paul
Artest
Pierce.
got Paul Pierce on the floor. That's what we needed to beat that Celtics team. That Celtics
Yeah.
team was a bunch of gangsters. If you want to be cold
Well, they
hearted
were old
honest,
school. They were old
they was
school. Yeah.
doing what almost in it. I hate to do this. What the Timberwolves did to us last year, they damn near was scaring half
Yeah.
the players on the teams
That's
off.
that's a good
You don't
point.
even want to.
Yeah.
You don't even want to shoot the
Well,
ball.
it's like
But in
Pierce even said like, "Oh, Powell was a different guy. That was not the same guy that they faced in '08. He changed, total mental shift, right?
Ron Artest said, "Don't
Physical.
let them what Ron he wasn't. We needed him to get us over the hump, and that was still. We came back home Game 6 down 3-2 before Kendrick Perkins. It was still touch and go with the Celtics. But in
Yeah.
2009, I don't think we beat the Nuggets with no Trevor Ariza. I think the 2009 Nugget series was almost the second hardest behind the '08 when we got beat by the Celtics. So it's
Do
funny
you know
how
what
those.
sucks? That West Finals. Um, my family is in Colorado, right? So,
Mhm.
uh, all my buddies came out for a game, for the West Finals game, and got to watch as a fan. Guess which game I went to?
It wasn't in LA or Denver.
Denver. The game that they
Oh, you went
lost.
to Game
J.R.
3.
Smith going nuts. Yeah.
Game four. Yeah, they went crazy on us
Yeah.
in Game 4 because we won
Because it was
Game 3. That's
cool
what
because
Kobe.
the Dodgers were playing just down the street. So we went to the Dodgers game first, walked over to the Lakers game. That was a really cool experience, but it just ended poorly.
Yeah, no, for
very,
sure. But
very
that game,
poorly.
well, Game 1 and 3, we only win at the or not. Was it one and
It was
three
a
or
good
one and
series.
five? Trevor
It's
Ariza
one of those,
steals,
yeah.
or we're in
Well, you look
trouble.
back
Like,
on it, all you see is the stats and like, the was it 4-2, right? Um,
mm-hmm.
but it was way closer than that.
It could have
They
easily
they
been
could
four
have
two.
got they could have beat them. Yeah.
They could have easily
Yeah, it
been
was,
4-2. That's the funny thing.
oh,
Carmelo
for sure.
Anthony doesn't even get like if he wins that series, his whole legacy changes. And
Oh,
the way
totally.
he
Yeah.
was playing out of his mind. I was like, who the hell
He's
is
good,
this
yeah.
guy? Like,
Yeah. Well, because him and
but
Kobe used to go at it. They used to
he
go
was
at it.
bullying down low. He was bullying our entire team. Like he was
Yeah,
grabbing
well,
offensive
because he's
rebounds.
one of those few like forwards who could move, but he's got a body too. You know what I mean? And he played back to the basket, right? Like
Yep.
Kobe did, right? But just a bigger version of Kobe. But he didn't
Kobe
have
was
the
snapping.
footwork, huh?
That's that. But Kobe down even down low, like Kobe on the perimeter, he was working Carmelo that series. But down
Mhm.
low, yeah, Kobe was still scrapping with him, but Carmelo was unstoppable down low in that
Yeah,
series.
there was two guys that I thought that gave Kobe fits, and I think he's kind of acknowledged this. Um, Melo, who do you think the other guy is?
From Denver,
No, no, just in general.
Tony Allen.
Like, huh?
Tony
Ray
Allen.
Allen? Oh, oh
Tony.
yeah, that's for sure. But I meant more of like same size, same kind of build.
Oh,
I
a
was gonna
big
say
guy like Melo.
Tracy McGrady.
Oh yeah. Because he's 6'9".
Mello and
Yeah,
Tracy
they used to
McGrady,
battle too.
they gave him problems. They did give him problems. I think McGrady was just
Yep.
a freak athlete and could do pretty much anything on the floor. But um, I mean, even he admits that too. Kobe, like he's like you struggle with him, but
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe always got the better eventually. But
I remember
I
Kobe put
loved watching those guys.
24. I think it was 24 in the fourth quarter on the Magic when he had the shooting sleeve. Like he hurt his shoulder or separated his shoulder back in like
Was
2002.
that
But
from the dunk on the Timberwolves, right? Like he did that reverse dunk or whatever, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden he's
it was
like, oh
back
my
when Carl
god,
Malone and all them was on the team. So my memory ain't too
yeah,
fresh, but I know he ended up wearing like some weird. He would wear a
yeah,
purple one. He'd wear a white one. He was wearing like some
yeah.
weird
I
shoulder,
remember
and
that.
he
Yeah, yeah,
he dropped like 24,
yeah.
25 on McGrady and against the Magic for sure. But all right, Kobe's passing. I did want to go into that for you, man, because that was a rough day for me, man. I
Oh,
done lost my father already in life, and Kobe felt like damn near
yeah.
worse almost. But what was Kobe's passing like for you? Like,
It was. I think it's because I covered him every day, right? It was going to the games every day, see him in the locker room every day, uh, just being so involved in a different way at that time, and it was a it was a bad time. That the last couple of years, 2016, they weren't good. They weren't good for a few years. But he was so different at the end there that like he was so open. Like he would answer any question. I mean, one thing about covering Kobe that was terrifying is you never wanted to ask a question that you hadn't really, really thought out, right? You had to make sure no one had asked that question before, number one. And number two, is he going to torch you for it in a public forum, right? Like I was, I mean, the one question that I asked him uh, that I'm so glad I did, but I was so nervous when I did it. Um, as I said, because I think it was Clay Thompson had just gone crazy, and he scored. I can't remember how many points it was, but it was in a short amount of time, and it was like 13 dribbles or something crazy. Do you remember that? That
Hmm.
when he just went
Like
red
60
hot.
points, 11 dribbles or something weird. Yeah.
Well, it became realistic that somebody else could score 81, right? And I was like, this is I got to ask him. It was his last season. I was like, do you think there's anybody who could match or surpass 81 points? And I was like shaking asking this question. I was like, is he gonna rip me apart and say like, oh, what a stupid question? Or you come up with all sorts of crazy stuff in your head.
Yeah.
And he just said, oh, I think it's possible. Yeah, he said, I think you got to be in great shape. And it's ironic that Luka is the one that got the closest since then, 73, right? Um, but I was trying to bait him into telling or to saying Steph or KD, right? I wanted to get that quote, but he just went out just saying like, you got to be in great shape and you got to believe that it's possible. That's the coolest part of it. You got to believe that it's possible. You got to will yourself to do it, And I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
man,
and
okay,
actually, and I this is kind of off, like, but yeah, Kobe, truthfully, to me, was a mental. Like, I really believe in the mental. Like, you can almost create
oh yeah,
whatever you want right out here, and I feel like Kobe was one of those guys. So I believe that wholeheartedly. But yeah, let me move you
yeah.
along. And I want to go in almost like how I did with the 1989 Lakers, but now I want to go to 2011 Lakers, which could have been another three-peat team. Started off 8-0, ended up getting swept by the Mavericks in 2011. What was the 2011 Lakers experience for you?
Uh, Nerve wracking because that was the first year that I got credentialed. Um, and I think I went to a couple regular season games. Excuse me, and then and it was like a media circus around them, right? Because they were two-time champs. Everybody thought it was possible for them to win three in a row, and then the whole goat conversation comes up, right? Because if he wins, another one, he's in the MJ like head to head conversation, and he already was, but like it would become a real discussion, like who's better, right? Um, so there was just it was interesting because those guys were firing on all cylinders, and I thought that they did have a really good chance of pulling it off, but they just ran into a Dirk led team that was just ready to win, right? They just had a bunch of old guys that desperately wanted a title, and it just came together. I remember because I was at those playoff games in LA, the two playoff games where they lost. One was off a missed Kobe game winner, and the other one it was Dallas just kicked their ass. But it was weird because I didn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh, it's fine. They'll go to Dallas and they'll win two, right? Or they'll win one and they'll get back to LA. Not for a second did I think that they were going to get swept. And it was kind of a lesson for me too because it was a moment where I was like, I got to take my fandom out of this and start, becoming more of a, a journalist, right? Been looking at this, step back and be like, okay, well, what's really happening here, right?
Hmm.
Is this it? Is this over, right? Can these guys beat this sharp shooting Dallas team led by a driven, Nowitzki? And I was so like blinded by fandom. I was like, no way. No way that they're going to pull off a sweep. No way that they're Kobe's not going to will this into a 7-game series, or or get the team back into it. But it's exactly what happened. They just got their asses kicked, and then remember, it got really ugly in the end because was it Bynum with the elbow to Berea, and then Odom did something after that. I can't remember.
Dirk Nowitzki with a shiver, or if I think another forearm shiver or something.
And then they both got booted, right? And it was like you could just tell it was like that's it. It's over. So I mean,
Jackson was out, but more than that, and the reason I asked, I appreciate that because I feel like that's like a not spoken about Lakers team that, just like the 1989 Lakers, I feel like it ran out of gas. Exactly. More than that, Rick Carlisle, to me, outcoached Phil Jackson, and he also opened up the floodgates to what the new NBA is, which to me most people talk about, because he was spacing the hell out the Lakers to the point
they were. But
Stojakovic might hit you for 4-3. Like it didn't matter. We're changing this inside out game to space, and that a lot of that started with those 2011 Mavericks to me.
Yeah, you hit it with Peja, Nowitzki, Jason Kidd. That's when he became a shooter.
Dirk Nowitzki was.
Say it again about Dirk.
Jason Terry,
Jason Terry.
10 feet open. Yeah, because nobody was ready for that style of play.
No.
Nobody was ready for that.
No, because nobody thought you could win with just threes, or it being a big part of your game plan.
Yeah, but they're wide open.
I didn't.
Every time. And I want you to go back and look at it. You're gonna be like, man, they were shooting everything. Nobody's around for nothing.
It was ridiculous. I was pissed because I was like, why aren't you closing out on these guys? Like, well, what's going on here?
That's how they up. I can't even get back. They're too far away now. But we're not. Nobody was.
The mentality back then was they're going to go cold, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to be red hot from 3 for an entire series, right? Maybe 1 game, maybe 2, but not 4, right? And they did it the whole playoffs, and then they go and they upset the Heat, right? I mean, think of that scenario though, right? Like Kobe and LeBron in the finals against the Heatles, right? Like that team against the Heat. I mean, I want to say that the Lakers would win that series. Well, you know what? They would. They would have, because
would have won.
Yeah, because the Heat didn't have the mentality yet. Not even close, really. Remember they were mocking
LeBron Dirk in 2009 also. If they had met in 2009, they would have.
I was pissed when Dwight and them advanced. I was like, really? I mean, I was celebrating in the sense that like, oh, they're going to win, right? It's not going to be a series even. But I wanted to see, because think how much that narrative would change right now if Kobe went head to head against LeBron. Think how determined Kobe would be in that finals.
Oh yeah, coming off the 2008 loss, LeBron and Nike been forcing me to do all this promotion with you all year.
With the Nike puppets and stuff. Do you remember that?
Yep, hell yeah. No, yeah. I was into it all, man. But yeah, I do believe, and what I'll say is that Magic team was amazing. Even though I knew we were gonna beat them too, a lot of what we beat them off of was experience. But if Courtney Lee hits this point blank game winning layup in game 2, that series is different. And that Magic team was trouble. You know what I mean? But
they didn't have an alpha. They didn't have that main guy, because Dwight was great, right? But he was not. I learned that after covering him 3 times. Yeah, like he was not. He didn't have that. He wasn't mentally strong. He had all the physical aspects. He was an athlete, right? Like, but he was not. You could break him down mentally. I mean, Kobe proved that, right? Multiple times.
But let's can we real quick walk just through that Magic series a little bit, because I'm telling you, them Hito Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson, that boys. Game 1, Kobe goes off for 40 points. Everything's beautiful. Game 2, I'm telling you, we were supposed to lose that game. Courtney Lee misses a point blank game winning. Game 3, they beat us. Game 4, you remember what happened? Derek Fisher had to make 2 threes.
The right side 3-pointers, right? Yeah.
And then 2 of them, one in the end of the fourth, one in overtime.
That's what Fisher does, though.
Yeah. So really, If not, it's that's how how razor thin these things can be. But history
Oh
don't
yeah.
even you don't even realize that. But it's like
Well, it's like how we were talking about the Nuggets series, how close that was, even though you look at the the final result 4-2, and you're like, oh well, that wasn't it. Or like,
yeah,
okay, here's another one, Pacers, the first finals with the
okay,
Lakers and Pacers. What was it, 4-1
yeah,
or
or
4-2?
4-2. Yeah.
That looked like they hammered them. They did not hammer them.
No,
That was a close series, right? Now the next two were a different story, but that one
ah, yeah.
was closer than it should have. And then Kobe got the sprained ankle, right, and he had to play on that with the Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Rose's ass getting underneath him, and you know now that he would be crucified for that now, right? Because that's that closeout, dangerous closeout or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he'll be suspended now. But the best thing about Kobe that
yeah,
series was his defense, really, like, because he was hobbled, he was on a bad angle most of the series. But Kobe's defense and the Pacers were the number one. Don't ask me why I know stuff like this. They were the number one rated offense in the NBA that season for
were they
sure. Go look
really?
it up. Absolutely.
Oh wow,
Oh, their offensive rating was off the charts.
how?
But all right. Were you at Kobe's Achilles game?
No, I wasn't there.
All right, but how did you feel that night, man?
Uh, it's gonna sound funny, but I think I got in an argument with my roommate, and that's why I wasn't there, because we were going at it for some reason, and I got the notification on my phone that it happened, and I didn't believe it. I was like, "Nah, that didn't happen." Right? And then I checked it, and I was like, "Oh no, that's it." And at that time, Achilles injuries were a death sentence. Right? It was basically, "Oh, you're done. Your career's over." Right? And I mean, it in a sense, it basically was. Kobe was never the same after that, but and it was unfortunate, right? Because he had an ankle injury, he hurt his knee, kind of like all in the same game, or against the Warriors,
He
where
kept falling.
and
No, it
I
was that
just,
same game.
oh yeah, yeah, I just it's gonna sound weird, but I kind of felt the same. It's like when he passed away, like not exact, not even close to the same, but it was
Oh,
like,
that shit was sad, man. That shit.
well,
Go
it just
ahead,
felt
let it
like
out. That shit
something
was sad.
left. Like you're like, oh, I'm not going to see that again. I'm not going to
And
see peak Kobe again. And I
well, that
didn't
was a
know.
rough night. And then he did the
Oh
interview
God! And then
afterwards.
I'd never seen him cry before. Like in the locker room on his crutches. And I know the guy that asked him the question too, Eric Pincus. I think I asked him about this at a game once. I was like, what was going through your mind when you saw him like that? Like, we're scared enough to ask this guy questions, and then you go and ask him that when his career is like, it could be over, right? Like I don't know. It was a weird, that whole final stretch was strange to cover. It was because you didn't know what was coming, what the future held, like all so many questions and so much doubt and so much negativity and all that stuff. And but I
Yeah.
will say this, Kobe's last game is the best uh, game I've ever covered, ever. Just the experience from the moment I woke up to getting to the game to everything that happened before the game, during the game, after the game. I mean, it was just, I remember all of it like it was yesterday. It was incredible because we were all making bets in the press box, uh, how many points he was going to score, and I said 35, and I thought I was going over. You know what I mean? Um, and then he passed 35. I don't know, it was midway through the third quarter or something like that, and uh, we just could we they tell you, okay, so like etiquette in the press box, or just at covering a game, is you're supposed to be emotionless, right? You're not supposed to cheer or show anything that shows any kind of bias toward a player or whatever. Um, and that's tough sometimes, right? But that game, we were all fans, all of us. We were all cheering. We were all blown away like, oh my God, he scored again. He's at 40, 45, 50, 55. Like, we didn't know when it was going to stop. Like, when, and that I remember seeing him on the, because I was in the press box, so I'm high up, right? And you're basically watching it on the big screen anyway, right? And there's a shot of him just going, it's like me walking upstairs. And I'm like, that is the most exhausted I've ever seen him. He is gassed. Like, and I just made me believe like he's literally giving you everything he's got left. It was
Yeah,
incredible. It was
and an amazing
incredible.
game. And I liked it. That's where I was going with my next question. So I appreciate that. I see the journalism in you. It's God had his hand on you whether you went to school for it or not. But what I will say is, just since you brought up that game, Kobe started 0 for 5. After that,
Oh yeah,
because
it
I
was
feel like a
bad in
lot
the
of people are like,
beginning.
oh, he took 50 shots. I'm like, if you the 0 for 5 start, take that away. Kobe ended up shooting 22 for 45 after that for 60 points. To me, that's a wild game for whether it's year 16 or year 6. And
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But I was gonna ask about that game next, so I appreciate that. All right, let's keep you
it's
moving
just
along on
fun.
the Lakers
Yeah.
train. Or actually, real quick, I wanted to hit on the Achilles because we were kind of covering that first. A lot of people say that it's Mike D'Antoni's fault because Kobe was
No.
playing 48 minutes a game, I think, for like 6 games leading up to that. But what I will
Yeah,
say
but
is Kobe,
that was Kobe's choice. Kobe
yeah,
wanted
Kobe
to
was
do
playing
that.
some of the best basketball I had seen him play. And I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of that probably had to do with you were in the round, so you let me know him and Dwight Howard that year. I feel like a lot of Kobe
Oh,
was
weird.
like, let me show you since you don't understand. Let me show you.
Well, I got a story for you. I got a story for you. Um, now I didn't see this, and nobody saw this, so it had to have come from a player. Um, so they're fighting to get. Remember that they were just trying to get in the playoffs at that point, right? Like toward the end. Uh, and Kobe was just in this killer mode where like just give me the ball, get out of the way kind of mode. And they lost a close one to the Spurs down the stretch. And they get to the locker room, right? And I guess Dwight was trying to like lift people's spirits and be a goofy guy and be funny and stuff. And they're in the locker room and he's trying to crack jokes, trying to be funny. This is Dwight. Like if you the entire time I covered him, this is him in a nutshell. He is just a goofy big kid, right? That doesn't take anything seriously. I mean, like I said, incredibly physically gifted, but mentally just probably not where you're supposed to be when you're competing for championships and stuff. Anyway, he's sitting in his locker, he's trying to crack jokes and trying to get people laughing, and this water bottle flies across the room and nails him in the head, right? Just clocks him in the head. And Dwight's just like, what the hell? He looks over and Kobe's just like this. Just like basically talking without talking, right? Like, God, right? Like, we just lost to the Spurs, you asshole. Like, what are you doing? This is not a funny time to be joking, you know? And I was like, that is the most Kobe thing ever. And I heard this, I think I heard this through an agent or something, or a trainer or something. And
That's
I was just like, wow, I just totally, I could
not only is
totally
that
see it.
absolutely hilarious, it's not easy to hit somebody.
No, yeah, right. And if you knew where their lockers were, that's a long throw. They weren't, they weren't close. Yeah. So that has some distance to it. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that's funny as hell. All right, so, going on from that made me cry a little bit. That's funny. The baby Lakers,
And
which
I don't know if that actually happened.
it's
I just
it's
heard this.
funny enough. We gonna believe it happened, and we gonna graphic it up.
It's just something I always remember, man. I was just like, wow, what an epic
Just
story.
having a blast. That's funny. All right, the baby Lakers. So post Achilles Kobe 2013 to 2018. And I don't want to even talk
Mhm.
about Kobe in this time because, this was a time we was just giving him his flowers and stuff like that. And he recovering. Who would you say was your most like the draft pick? Because I feel like we were excited as Lakers fans every draft, from D'Lo to Bi to Lonzo Ball to even Julius Randle. Who were you the most excited about, like at the time when we were, stockpiling them?
Brandon Ingram. I thought Brandon Ingram was going to turn into a real guy. I mean, he did technically, right? I mean, he's
Mm,
still pretty damn good. I think
yep.
he an all-star this year? I think so,
Was
right? For the
well,
Raptors?
I don't think
No,
he was, but
no.
now I'm questioning. No, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't.
Scotty
But still,
Barnes.
yeah,
It was
he
Scotty
turned
Barnes.
into a guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he became an all-star in New Orleans. Like, it's what the crazy thing is at that time, I mean, obviously the future was bleak, right? Because it was all young guys, and the Lakers are not a team that's ever really gone full in. Um, I mean, I guess after the Showtime era with like Van Exel and Eddie Jones and all the young guys, right? But it wasn't traditional, right? It was like basically, I always say with the Lakers, if they've got a guy, a young guy who develops into something good, the first thing they're going to do is trade him. Like the minute he has value, he's gone for a star, right? They just go after stars. That's just what they do, right? It's just their MO. It's you just know that that's what they're going to do. And that's kind of what happened, right? With AD, right? They leveraged all these guys to get AD. And then every single one of or almost every single one of them went out and realized their true potential elsewhere.
Hmm.
Jordan Clarkson goes and wins Sixth Man of the Year, right?
Oh yeah.
Julius Randle becomes an All Star,
Hmm.
MVP candidate at one point for the Knicks, right? Brandon Ingram becomes an All Star.
Hmm.
Lonzo Ball, plays a little bit better, but he's still injury prone, right? Josh Hart becomes a
Oh,
legit
yeah.
guy in New York,
Forgot about
right?
Josh
Like,
Hart.
yeah, like
D'Lo in
Larry Nance
Brooklyn.
Jr. I mean, he didn't really become or Alex Caruso. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on.
Hmm.
It's just I thought the best move because going into the summer of 2018 or whatever, I thought the best move was to keep those guys and sign Paul George. I thought Paul George added to this group would be something to build on, right? Um, maybe in retrospect, maybe I was just totally off, But then again, if you think about it,
He had an MVP
LeBron
season.
comes in and
Oh my bad.
everybody gets traded. Everybody gets traded for AD, right? And they did have the run in the bubble, but it didn't really do anything after that, right? Like one West Finals appearance, and then first round exits and disappointment, injuries. It's just I think there's a what if thing there, right?
Hmm.
There's definitely a what if thing because all those guys were talented. Clarkson was a talented scorer. Julius Randle was a banger who could just get into you physically and be a scorer. Josh Hart was a kind of a six man that could just do a little bit of everything, right? But he gave you effort every single night. Brandon Ingram was talented above all those guys, I think.
Oh yeah.
Right? He just had something different. Um, it sucks looking back on it. I'm like, it shows how good they are because they all went off and were successful for the most
Yeah.
part. Lonzo Ball is the only guy that didn't really pan out, right?
Yeah.
His injuries just kind of took its toll. Even Kuzma did well, right? When he
Back.
left.
Dang, I'm forgetting about a few people. Yeah, yeah. And no, what I
Yeah,
was saying, even Flo had a big season in Brooklyn. I think he was an all star. But
yeah.
what
There
I'll
you go. Yeah.
what I'll say is and actually that leads into my next question because I feel like Magic Johnson like, orchestrated a lot of it. But I mean, I feel like there was one person pulling the strings at that time, and it wasn't Rob Pelinka. What did you think about Magic's return and his abrupt exit?
Well, I mean, when it was when it came to see Magic at practices and stuff, I was a fanboy. I was like, oh, that's Magic Johnson right there. I'm in the same gym as him, watching practice or whatever. So I think that kind of blinded me from his decision making and how he was as an executive, which obviously wasn't really good. You know, uh, you look at things like the Zubats trade. Like, did that make any sense? It didn't make sense back then, and now it looks way worse because the Clippers just traded him for like 2 first-round picks and Ben Matherin, right? Like, it's dude. Think about this. Think about Zubac and Davis playing together with
Amazing.
LeBron. Jesus. I mean, that
Think
is
about how
just
Zubac did the Lakers every time he seen us, pretty much.
yeah. He had an axe to
Like walk,
grind. Yeah, axe to
walking
grind.
2020. But no, I thought it was funny just how, and I hate to use the word, but I feel like Luke Walton, yeah, he might not have been the best coach for us, but Magic, you can't bully him out through the media. You got to figure it out,
Yeah.
through however
See,
y'all handle
Magic.
stuff.
I
He's a
think,
media guy.
yeah, those positions you should never hear from those guys unless it's a press conference or a signing or draft day. It should be all quiet. Magic doesn't know how to do that.
Magic could be on
So it's
ESPN. He'll be
oh
on
yeah,
ESPN the
it's
next
like
game,
dude,
next day
just
after the game.
he can't help himself because that's just his personality, right? Like I think those guys are like silent killers. Like, do you even know what Sam Presti's voice sounds like?
No, not at all.
No,
Not absolutely not. No.
and he's the best GM in basketball for the last what 5 years, probably.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
know what you're not supposed to hear these guys. You're not
yeah.
supposed to
And
hear their opinions.
overall, for me, I'm glad Magic came back because I feel like we wouldn't have got a chip, we wouldn't have got Anthony Davis, we wouldn't have got Luka Doncic. So, but at the same time, it was just crazy to me how it all happened. I was like, this guy is turning. He was a little reality show with it, but
Oh
obviously he's
God,
Magic, so he can do what
yeah.
he wants. But all right, move you along. And you kind of touched on it right now, but can you just give me a quick like? And actually, somebody asked me this, so shout out to Dean Frank. What do you give like rate LeBron's tenure with the Lakers?
That's difficult for me because it's separating. You know what? Because one of the most challenging things is going from covering Kobe, who is absolutely relentless and determined and doesn't mess around, to a guy who's you know, kind of a big kid and wants to be liked by everybody. And then you see the end results of it. It's like, I- I'm disappointed, to be honest. Like, I feel like he should have done more in terms of the success of the team. And then, the whole clutch sports part of it, and you just see motivated moves that way. And then Bronny coming in and, JJ becoming the coach. It's just like, what was going on? I think it's going to be one of those things where, maybe a couple years down the line after this season, because I think he's gone after this season. I think he's going to Cleveland. Um, there's going to be like a doc, right? There's going to be a documentary about this LeBron era in LA. And I'm sure there'll be behind the scenes stuff that come up and how much, how much was LeBron pulling the strings compared to Palenka and yada, yada, yada. I mean, he won a title, right? So he's always going to be remembered as winning a title. That's kind of, I mean, that's the goal when you're a Laker. You have to, if to be successful as a Laker, you have to win a title, right? No one's going to remember D'Angelo Russell, or Randall, or these guys. They're not going to be remembered as Laker greats,
As
right?
Lakers, yeah.
Right? They're going to be remembered for what they did after. It's it's
Mhm.
it's like Caruso. He's still revered as a Laker guy, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't know what the hell happened there. If you look at that in retrospect, Taylor Horton Tucker over Alex Caruso, what? Where was logic? I liked THT, right? I thought he was good, but they didn't go out and trade for Lowry, who would have
Yeah.
helped the team immediately. They put their faith in this kid who didn't pan out. I don't even think he's in the NBA right now. I think he's
Nah,
overseas.
the whole and
Kyle
not yeah.
Lowry is still in the NBA right now.
Now that's
What is
crazy.
that? What does that say?
We were
But
big
are
on
you saying
TNT
like
though.
a grade? Like if I were to grade it, like A,
Yeah,
B,
yeah.
C, or D,
Let's
whatever.
go. Yeah.
I'd say probably a B minus. Give it a B minus.
We got a lot in
It's not
common. That was
terrible by any means, but it's not great either. I think
yeah.
it's going to be one of those things where 10 years down the line, you look back on it and you're like, oh, he didn't really do what we thought he was going to do in LA. You know,
I gave it a B
maybe
minus
I'm,
also. I gave it a B
yeah,
minus also. And by LeBron expectations, it could possibly be lower. I feel like 2023, he had a chance to push it to an A, and he kind of didn't meet the moment against the Nuggets in that Western Conference Final Series, in my opinion, when they were all those games were there for the taking. And if you are this Pantheon great and you want to be this Laker great, then you got to show up in moments
yeah.
like that. Like in
Hmm.
2021, I feel like the Lakers defense was better than it was in 2020, and injuries just so there's certain things that happen. But I feel like for me, like I had said B minus also, and I feel like 2023 he had a chance to really change the narrative, and he didn't. But that's for me.
Well, and then another thing is, I don't know why the hell they broke up that championship team. Why did they do that? That team was perfectly put together to win for five. I'm not saying they're going to win, rattle off five straight championships, but they would have been contenders for 5 years, I think, right?
Yeah,
Or
and they would
maybe,
have won in 2021 because now when AD goes down versus the Suns, and I think it was Game 3 or something when they were up 2-1, or Game 4 when they were up 2-1 in favor. If you got Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, it's not as big as of a blow.
yeah,
Like in like,
you got guys that could shoulder the load, or at least somewhat help. You know, you can't replace AD, right? It's just like you can't replace LeBron, but at the same time, they had the right recipe for success. It's like the back to back titles with Kobe and Powell. Their length was ridiculous, right? Bynum, Odom, Powell. Like, how do you compete with that, right? The only
triangle offense
downside
and
to
big.
that, what's up?
Or my bad. Can I ask real quick? Do you remember the big to big passing like between Odom
Oh
and
yeah.
Bynum?
Well, Powell could pass, Odom could pass, Bynum was okay, right? But it's just you couldn't compete with that. It was too much. It was too much.
Yep,
They
three
were so
7-footers.
talented. Yeah, who could all handle? Well, or Odom and Powell could handle. They had and they had good moves, right? I think Odom is super underrated. That guy
Oh
was incredible, right? Like,
yeah. Did
oh,
you watch his podcast with Vince
Tracy McGrady
Carter?
and Vince Carter. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, he said he had the most chemistry with Powell. That shows you
Well,
right there, right?
the Lakers
Two.
bigs were Kobe's the MVP. Don't get me wrong, no questions asked. But the Lakers bigs were the reason why they were able to go back to back, like for
Yeah,
sure.
they were. Yeah, it was beautifully put together, right? They had three guys there who all knew their role, and then all the other role players underneath them would just were totally fine with doing what they were asked to do. And then you got Phil Jackson, obviously, running the show, and Kobe leading the way. It's like you can't get a better team construction than that, right?
Yeah.
And
I
I
want to hear
kind of
Lake.
felt like the 2020 team had something very similar. I mean, I'm not Vogel's not Phil Jackson, but he was pretty damn good. I thought Vogel was a good coach.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
And
You're saying the 2020. You're comparing 2020 to 10 and saying like the chemistry kind of. Okay,
well, I just
yeah, I
felt
can
like
see that.
the construction of the rosters
Mhm.
were close to
Oh,
perfect.
big down low. Okay, yeah, I can
They
see
had the
that.
bigs, the length, the shooting, the experience. Like you got say like Rondo Fisher, right? Like I mean,
Mhm.
Kobe, LeBron, Powell, Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? It just fit. The pieces fit. It was a
Yeah,
good construction of a roster.
I ain't
Why
gonna lie.
break it up?
I totally forgot what I was going to ask. But what I will say is this: I think those were weird times in general. Like I don't think the Lakers were. Who did we lose? We lost. Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard, JaVale
Dwight.
McGee. Who else was it? I forgot. But the
Yeah,
Lakers
look,
was
but they broke it up. I mean, because they brought in Montrezl Harrell, uh,
yep.
Schroeder, um, and it all looked good in terms of splashy moves because I think one was the most improved and the other one was sixth man of the year. And then Marcus Gasol, obviously, I loved that move, but it just didn't. It was unnecessary. It was like basically make moves to make moves, but you didn't need to make moves. What are you doing? Keep the. I mean, those guys were killing it.
For sure.
Why
And
make moves?
the chemistry was there. That to me was one of the funner, even way before the bubble. Like that was one of the funner Laker teams that I ever watched. The 1920 Lakers for sure. And Anthony Davis is just as deserving as the
Oh,
reason the
that's
Lakers ended
best year
up.
of his career.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as opposed to like, yeah, I get LeBron is MVP and deservedly so, but if we don't get Anthony Davis,
yeah,
then
they don't
we
win without Davis
end
dealing
up
with
looking
Davis.
like the 18-19.
Yeah.
He was the best in the bubble by far to me, actually. Truthfully, like, and I don't want to speed you up too much, but I do got a couple more questions because I want to do a quick trivia with you. But I want to go past Russell Westbrook era, past we kind of talked about 2023, past 2024. I want to kind of talk about like this Luka Doncic tenure a little bit. But first, I want to ask why, and I know I touched on it a little bit with my own opinion, but why do you feel like we lost the series last year to Minnesota, which we were favored in?
I think it was a combination of injuries piling up, and they just faced a team that was ready to get physical and prove a point. Um, and they did, right? Like, and that's one. That's Ant Man says some weird things sometimes, but I do have nothing but respect for that guy because he is kind of got like an old school player. He got up into LeBron, right? Like he was on LeBron. Like he made a point of it to do that. And I think that is the difference in today's NBA. Like back in the day, I think everybody kind of did that, but now, uh, when a superstar like him, it takes on the challenge of competing against the other superstar defensively. It's a game changer, and I think that was contagious across the entire team, right? And they had so many guys that could kill you. Nas Reed, even Mike Conley had play here or there. It's just they were built to beat the Lakers in a sense. And then obviously, Luka wasn't Luka. They It was revealed afterwards. Reeves had a toe thing going on, and then LeBron was it an MCL or
Yeah.
meniscus or something like that. But then he's dancing at somebody's wedding like a week
Yeah.
later. So
And
I,
I like
I
that about Anthony Edwards getting into him because LeBron want to
oh
laugh and
yeah,
joke, have fun at the end of the game, and they in killer mode right now. It ain't time to
yeah.
have fun.
Edwards was like, I'm not, like, yeah, we're cool after. Right now, I'm going after you. I
Yep.
love that
All right.
guy.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think
He's
he's
the new. Well, he's not the face, but he has a chance too. It's probably gonna be Wemby, but Ant had a chance for sure.
oh yeah, Wemby's insane. He's insane. I mean, but he'll be in the conversation, right? Like, say he
Yeah.
wins one, before Wemby,
Oh,
he's going to be the guy, right?
now he's Michael Jordan. Now he's turned
Yeah.
to an American star more than probably LeBron James has ever been, if he wins one. But that's the marketability that he has. But one
Well,
more quick question.
I like how he's unfiltered. He'll say anything, and he doesn't care. Like, even to his own coach. I think he did that the other day, right? Like, um, I like him. I like he's a little unhinged or whatever, but I think you kind of need that to be uh at a crazy level. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Yeah.
King of the, or I ain't gonna say king. Ant Edwards is definitely crazy. But all right. So I want this is kind of double edged question or two side, however you say it, two-part question. Luka Doncic's tenure so far, you don't got to give it a grade, but just what do you think about it, and like, what's your outlook on this year's team?
I think I think this year's team is probably cooked because the the teams ahead of them are that much better and that much more experienced and play elite defense, right? That's the difference. This team does not play a lick of defense, right? They may be elite offensively when it's all clicking, but defensively, it's I don't want to say they're a joke, but they're just not there, right? Like there's only two guys on the team that I see that give extra effort defensively, and that's Marcus Smart and Vando, right? And it's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. You need one of the big three to play hard defensively to spark because defense is contagious because it is an effort thing, right? You get LeBron to play hard nosed defense, all of a sudden everybody else would be like, okay, LeBron's not messing around, or Luka, okay, Luka's not messing around, or even AR's diving on the floor or whatever, because defense is a contagious thing. Offense is pure talent, right? Defense is pure effort. It's effort. Yeah, you got to have some defensive skills. You got to have those instincts or whatever, but I think it's more effort than it is skill. And that's the sad part. Those guys don't show anything on that end of the floor. It's a zero. it's a D. If we're gonna give it a grade, right?
Well, I guess let me ask you then. Can they beat OKC in a 7-game?
No, hell no. No.
Can they beat San Antonio?
No.
Can they beat Denver?
No.
Can they beat Houston?
Maybe.
Okay. Can they beat Minnesota?
That's another maybe.
Phoenix?
I don't think so, but I'm not sold on. See, that's the thing, man. It's like I look at those matchups and I'm like, does Minnesota play with effort on defense? Yeah, they do. Does Houston? Yeah, they do. Well, they got some guys that do, right? But there's such a difference there, right? I think honestly, the Lakers are at that point where. So here's the Lakers, here's the elites, and then there's everybody else. And Lakers are like
there's mid.
The line. Yeah, okay, yeah. Exactly. It's like
all right. I agree. I agree. And I'm always hopeful. I'm the type of guy, like when I was a kid, if the Lakers was down by 14 with 2 minutes left, I would formulate in my mind how they could come back. So I'm always slightly delusional.
But that's where you're gonna change over these next couple of years. You're gonna step back and see the reality, right? Like it's in your face. It's right there. It's like you just got to take the fandom out of it just a little bit. Step back from it. Like don't think about like what you want. Think about what you're seeing, right?
Oh yeah, no. My objective answer is this is 24-25 part 2. We look like the same.
Oh
team.
Yeah, totally. I think they're better than that. I do think they're better than that, but those teams ahead of them are also better, right?
I think we were better last year, truthfully. Like
really,
when we come off, I think we almost had about the same record. But then coming out of All-Star last year, we went on a tear, and beat about 8 straight, or we beat about 8 straight playoff teams before the
even beat OKC, right?
Yeah, beat OKC, beat the Knicks. I think Golden State might have been the only team beat Hugh. We were beating everybody up until LeBron hurt his groin against Boston. And then things kind of changed, like I'll say. But I also think that was the last best of LeBron James that we were going to see on that run. And I think the Lakers were like number 1 in defense. And this was with Luka on the team. It was crazy. I have not seen anything near that sort of effort this year. So I honestly think we took a bit of a step back. The defensive rating is worse this year than it was last year. And we have no point differential. I think we give up 116 and average 116.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Those are not the metrics of a second round team. But
I mean, it doesn't make sense that they're a winning basketball team with that point differential. It just doesn't make sense.
Mostly the teams that we're beating, and this schedule over this next 18 to 19,
it's brutal.
Brutal. If you want me to be honest, things are about to get dark.
Bad. Yeah. Like I think this past weekend, the back-to-back, yeah, they won and they blew both, Warriors out. They blew the Kings out, but they're terrible. Those teams are terrible. They're supposed to blow those guys out. right?
They would have
You know
handed
what's
you the
going to be
win
the
without
telling thing
rolling out of
is
bed.
Thursday will be the game where we see the true Lakers because
Oh, for
they
sure.
play in Denver against the Nuggets, and it's going to be a battle. I'll be there, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
send me some clips because no, the Kings and who was the other team? They would have
Warriors.
mailed the Lakers them wins if they could have. Like if you could get this
Oh
at your
yeah.
door, we'll send it to you.
Well,
Don't
look
even
at
leave
how
the
they're
house.
handling Steph. Like you can't tell me Steph is that hurt, really. Like they know that their season's done.
Yeah, it's
They're
over with.
throwing in the towel. Did you see that? Did you see Draymond going off, and Steph is
And
in the
Steph just
background,
looking at him.
just,
I ain't gonna lie,
and
Steph
you can
looked like
tell
he
he's
was
just
on an
like, I
edible.
am so done with this right now. It's like I want to be on a
I thought he ate an
beach.
edible or something. He
He
was
might have.
space.
He might
Yeah.
have.
But all right, just two more questions, and I want to run a quick trivia with you. So, what are your thoughts on the Dodgerification of the Lakers? I like it. What do you think
I
about
hope.
that, and what that means for Palinka?
I I think it's a sign that he's done. I think because if you think about it, like how are they going to justify keeping the guy on if they flame out this year, right? Maybe they give him one more year. Maybe they give him one like a prove it year, right? But I feel like behind the scenes, I don't have any knowledge of this, but it's already been determined. Like, hey, look, yeah, we're replacing you in the summer. Uh, just know that, and we'll do all the nice things. We'll say all the nice things, and then when it comes to it, we'll say there was a mutual parting of the ways, right? So it won't look like he got fired. It'll just look
Yeah.
like they just parted ways. But I mean, I could be totally wrong, and he's the GM for the next decade. But I just doubt it. It just whenever there's a regime change, usually everybody gets fired,
Yeah.
everybody gets tossed, right? And it's I mean, how many Lakers fans right now want him gone, even after the Luka?
Most, I'd say
Yeah,
most. If you ran a Donald Trump style poll on Palinka, it's not gonna be.
the greatest, the great. I'm the greatest GM of all time. All
Hey, that's
time.
a good impression. You do impressions. That's pretty good. Shit.
Maybe I'm the greatest impressionist ever. I don't know.
Did
It's
you do
possible.
comedy? Serious? That's actually a question. Like that's interesting. That's all right.
it's
We'll
my
talk. We'll talk. That was good
it's
though.
my
I'm telling
British
you, man.
upbringing, man. It's we're all comedians and act like we are anyway.
Bloody. No, I'm just playing. All right. Okay. Last question, man. And I will say I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's like, oh yeah, Palinka, you still got your job. We just hired a couple people to do
Yeah,
most of what
yeah. I
you do,
think it's
and we're
all
gonna hire
PR.
a couple more people to do the rest of your job. And
Yeah.
we'll just say you still the GM, even though everybody else is doing all your job description. All right, last question. So, and actually, this kind of goes hand in hand. Let's play. Ryan Ward is the Lakers GM. What are you doing this summer?
Ooh. Well, I'm going hard for Giannis, for one. Um, unless they're asking for too damn much, which they probably will. But I think a home run summer would be getting Giannis, giving up the draft picks, going all in for the next 5 years, and then going hard in restricted free agency and getting Peyton Watson and Jalen Duren. I think
Okay.
you put those guys. If you get 3-and-D wings, uh, another superstar to replace LeBron, who actually plays defense. Um, I don't see another team. I think it'd be really hard for another team to compete with that. I mean, OKC is going to be around for quite a while, but this would make that team so much better. Giannis, I'm talking about like Peyton Watson, Herb Jones. I mean, just 3-and-D wings. Get 3 and
Yeah.
D wings, and then get other guys to do around the fringes. Yep. I mean, if you got to give up Reeves for Giannis, that's a conversation, right? But I do think ultimately, if the front office is or propose that and say like they have to give up Reeves, I think they're probably going to do it.
Hell
But
yeah. What?
the,
Nah,
the thing
man.
is, though, he's got it. he's gonna be a free agent, right? Like he can
Oh
kind
yeah.
of dictate what's going on. So it'd have to be like a sign and trade. And is he really gonna want to go to Milwaukee? Right? Like it's just there's a lot of moving parts. It's just, but I do think Giannis getting if you can get Giannis without giving up Reeves, that is a freaking home run, right? Like that's another steal. And then you got those two superstars to lead you into the next 5 years with Reeves, and then you have the salary cap to go out and get guys and force teams into difficult decisions, right? So Payne Watson's restricted, Duran's restricted. If you can send some offers to those guys to where Detroit and Denver cannot match, dude, just think about that. Just
Yeah, and the
those
Lakers
guys
got the
alone.
money. They'll have
Yeah,
the
and
money.
then you got vet minimums, guys, who's not going to want to play with that squad?
Oh, everybody. Oh
You
yeah.
got
If
Luke
that
Kennard that
happens,
you could sign again. You got, Rui's probably gone, right? Yeah, I think he's going to want to cash out, and I don't blame him. But just the prospect of playing with a team that looks like it could contend for 5 years, why not?
yeah. And
And I
shout out
think
to
that's what
Rui.
they'll try to do that. I don't know if they'll get away with it, but they'll try to do it.
Yeah, shout out to Rui though. I feel like he got a lot of shit before the season started, and then all of a sudden
Oh yeah,
he to me been one of the most efficient players and consistent. But
he's
yeah,
underrated. I mean, he's another guy that doesn't play D, but like he's offensively, he's great. He's a great shooter. Like that, he doesn't get enough credit for what he does from beyond the arc.
he's
Um,
at or over 40. Well, he's not Luke Kennard, but he's like 43, 40 some 40
yeah,
something percent.
he's over 40. Yeah, and I think if you're over 40, like you're a
Being a
good
Lakers
shooter. You're
fan, it feels
dependable.
like we never have 3-point shooters. So
No, no, like everybody was waiting for Kennard to just shit the bed after he got to LA,
yeah,
and he's done
Malik
pretty
Beasley.
well. He's done okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
he
great.
needs more. He needs more volume because even when
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
not like this is what's so head or like I don't even know how to for lack of a better term, but Gabe Vincent or another 3-point shooter, they might just catch the ball if it's not going. They're just gonna stand there, feet planted to the ground. Kennard, he's constant motion, constant
Yeah.
motion. That's what I love about him. That's like
He's got
we
this
got to work.
Steph kind of to movement, right? Like where
Yeah,
it's
he makes a
don't
decision
don't don't stand around,
immediately.
don't stand around. Yeah.
I'm gonna either shoot it, I'm gonna pass it, or I'm gonna pump fake, keep running, whatever the case may be. But all right,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. So, do you want to play some quick Lakers trivia? And I appreciate you, man. That'll conclude the interview question Q&A. But did you want to play a quick Laker trivia game?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. And I went a little harder for you, but still kind of easy, but harder for you because I know you're a Lakers fanatic like me. All right. So, first question: 3 players wore number 8 for the Lakers other than Kobe. Can you name any of them?
3 players. Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know why I'm thinking Sedell 3, but he was number 1, right?
No, not 3.
Oh, he was 3.
No, not him.
Oh no. So he wore number 1. Sedell
Oh, no,
3.
I don't know what. Honestly, right now I can't even think. I'm saying it wasn't Sedell 3. Is what I meant. His name sounds like 3.
How okay, can you give me a hint like
Yeah,
how old, how far back?
one of the players played for one of the Lakers' rivals, and actually was one of Kobe's rival defenders.
No, can't be. Well, no, because they played on the same. Ruben Patterson? No.
No, but that was a good guess though.
Dude, you really got me stumped with this one.
One of them you'll know for sure when I say it. One of the other two.
Oh, Tony. What the hell is it? Tony Douglas? No.
No.
Who am I thinking of? Tony. Come on.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll give it to you.
Go ahead. I don't want to give you dead air.
Doug Christie.
Oh man. I think I just
Other than
saw a
that
Lakers
was-
highlight from him too. Yeah.
Yep. Other than that, it was Randolph Keys and Jim Brewer. I don't even know who that is.
Oh
Jim
no, there's no way I'd get those guys. I should have got Christie though.
All right. Who has the highest point per game average for a season for the Lakers, and how much, if you would know?
Point per game. Probably. No, Kobe. It's 35.7. Something
Close,
like
and I would
that.
have thought it was Kobe too, so I can't even knock you for this one. It's
No
Elgin
way.
Baylor,
He averaged
30,
more than that.
38.3.
No way. Well, talk
Yep.
about an underrated Laker, dude. That guy does not
Yeah.
get enough respect.
Yep. And I think he had a couple of seasons like that. Okay. And these are
38.
these are a little
Jesus.
harder, so don't worry about it. Lakers player who holds the record for blocks in a game, and how many? And we can go regular season or playoffs, because the playoffs one you should be able to get.
I remember Bynum having a
You got that one
crazy
right.
block
You know,
game.
do you know
Yeah.
how many Bynum had in the playoff game?
Was it 11?
It was 10, but you got it right. It was Bynum 2012 versus the
Okay.
Nuggets, actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jordan,
Yeah.
did you get the regular season's kind of tough, because you could try to guess though if you want.
I'll just throw a random name out there. Eldon Campbell.
No, I thought you were about to say it. Elmore Smith, 17.
Oh no.
All right. What is Magic Johnson's career high in scoring?
Scoring. Can't be too high. 38?
No. 46 in 1986.
46.
Yep.
Whoa. What year was that?
1986. I think his playoff high was the rookie season versus Philadelphia.
46.
All right, last question, and you should get this one. This is one that I think you should get. Which Lakers player hit 6 threes in Game 6 of the 2004 Western Conference Finals to help send the Lakers to the finals?
2004.
Versus Timberwolves.
All right, say it again. One more time.
All right, which Lakers player, and he's off the bench, so I'll give you a little hint on that one, hit 6 threes in the Western Conference Finals. No, Game 6.
No,
he caught on
Kareem
fire.
Rush.
Kareem Rush. Yeah. Kareem Rush. That's right. I knew you would get that one.